Chapter 1945. Zhao Yun'er had a gratified smile on her face, and Dao really dotes on his little sister. He was such a considerate man at such a young age. It was a blessing to be his little sister. If they were in the 21st century, many girls would be envious of having such a brother. Of course, Dao only has one little sister, Tian Tian. Who else would he dote on if not Tian Tian? Dao's little face lit up with a beautiful smile. Zhao Yun'er asked curiously, then if mother gives birth to a little sister for Dao, will Dao dote on her? Dao answered without hesitation, of course. He'll dote on her just like how he dotes on little sister Tian Tian. Then what if mother gives birth to a little brother for Dao? Dao was silent for a moment after being asked by Zhao Yun'er. Seeing Dao's tightly knitted brows, Zhao Yun'er was amused by Dao. When it came to a little sister he could answer without hesitation, but when it came to a little brother he became like this. It seemed that older brothers were indeed nicer to their little sisters. What's wrong? Does Dao not like little brothers? Dao shook his head. No, I just think that if mother gave birth to a little brother, he wouldn't be as cute as a little sister. He's a man, he can protect himself and take care of himself in the future. Why would he need Dao to dote on him? Dao said in a soft voice. After he finished speaking he asked Zhao Yun'er, Mother, don't you think so? Zhao Yun'er and Mu Lianfeng looked at each other. Both of them couldn't hide the smile on their faces. Children's words were so pure. Zhao Yun'er secretly prayed that she would give birth to a girl. If she gave birth to a boy, it would definitely be better than a girl. A little brother is still young and doesn't know how to protect himself. If mother gives birth to a little brother for Dao should also take good care of his little brother, understand? Mu Lianfeng patted Dao's head and lectured him. If that's the case, then Dao will also dote on his little brother in the future. Dao said thoughtfully. Good. It didn't take long for them to arrive at the village. Zhao Yun'er's courtyard. After staying at the heir's residence for a few days, she felt more and more comfortable at home. In the courtyard of Zhao Yun'er's house sat several sisters-in-law of the Zhao family. The women liked to chat together after they were done with their work. Zhao Yun'er's new house was big, so they liked to come over and play together. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er and Mu Lianfeng had returned, Liang Jinxiao hurried forward and said, Yun'er, you've only stayed for a few days. Why are you back so soon? Mother, do you not welcome me back? Zhao Yun'er pretended to be angry and asked. Liang Jinxiao explained, how could that be? I thought you were going to stay for a while this time. I didn't expect that you would only stay for a few days. Zhao Yun'er naturally wouldn't tell Liang Jinxiao the reason why she came back. She was afraid that she would be worried. Dao's father came back because he has something to do. No wonder. Important matters are more important. Yun'er, go in and rest. Mother and your father will take care of the things in the carriage. Liang Jinxiao said as if she was afraid that Zhao Yun'er would be tired. It's okay, mother. I'm not tired. We'll carry it ourselves. Mu Lianfeng also said, Auntie, some things are heavier. Let me do it. Liang Jinxiao didn't refuse. Okay, let's do it together. Zhao Yun'er's aunts also came forward to help. Chapter 1946. Please refresh the previous picture if you don't think it's the right one. Feng Zhangxia listened to the things in Zhao Yun'er's car, which were piled up like a mountain. She could tell that these things were expensive at a glance. Shitzi was the best. He was from a wealthy family. There were so many good things at home. Little girl Yun'er, you've brought back a lot of good things this time. What are they? Why don't you tell us about it? Feng Zhangxia asked in a flattering tone. Zhao Yun'er said faintly, nothing. Eldest aunt, you won't know even if I tell you. After all, you haven't seen them before. They are all things that we country people can't afford. Zhao Yun'er knew that Feng Zhangxia liked to take advantage of small things. How could she be willing to tell Feng Zhangxia these good things? Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and said, Yun'er, if you don't tell us, we won't know what they are. Why don't you introduce them to us? Zhao Yun'er snorted softly, Eldest aunt, look at what you said. There are so many things in the car. How can I introduce them to you one by one? Liang Jinxiao was a little embarrassed and said to Feng Zhangxia, Sister-in-law, they are all moving into the house now. Yun'er doesn't have so much time to introduce them slowly. Feng Zhangxia was not a fool. How could she not know that this was an excuse? Staring at the things in the car, Feng Zhangxia said with a little jealousy, I can't help it. I'm not as lucky as you, third sister-in-law. You have such a capable daughter like Yun'er. We country people are not qualified to know these good things. Liang Jinxiao smiled embarrassedly and did not know how to respond. Zhao Yun'er replied indifferently, Eldest aunt, what are you talking about? When eldest cousin passes the provincial examination and becomes an official, there will be many good things for eldest aunt to recognize in the future. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly responded, yes, Yuner is right. Sister-in-law, when Qianlong's child passes the provincial examination and becomes an official, you will also have these good things. After hearing Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao's words, Feng Zhangsha's mood improved a lot. Thinking about it, it was reasonable. Tianlong was so good at studying. It was very reasonable for him to pass the provincial examination. When Tianlong became an official, she would be an official's wife. Right now, the third branch was just one step ahead of the first branch, so there was nothing to be jealous of. Feng Zhangxia raised her chin. Yun'er and third sister-in-law are right. I hope that Tianlong can pass the provincial examination as soon as possible so that our old Zhao family can bring glory to our family. After all, Tianlong will definitely be the first person in our old Zhao family to pass the provincial examination. Sister-in-law, you can rest assured. Tianlong is very smart. This time he will definitely pass the provincial examination. Liang Jinxiao did not know where he learned to flatter, but he said it to Feng Zhangxia. That's right. Tianlong is God's favored son. There is no other person like him in the whole Shuilan village. It's not that there is no other person like him in Shuinan village. There is no other person like him in the whole town. Yes, it is difficult to find him in the whole town. After a round of flattery, the things in the carriage had been moved into the house. Feng Zhangxia wanted the things that Zhao Yun'er brought back, but she was too embarrassed to ask. She could only wait for the other sisters-in-law to speak. She thought that the other sisters-in-law were the same as her. Chen Zhuzhao and Li Chuang did not mention a word. This made Feng Zhangxia very anxious. Chapter 1947. Zhao Qianyu was pulling weeds behind the house, having a lot of fun alone. Feng Zhangxia walked up to Zhao Qianyu and called out to him. Zhao Qianyu looked up at Feng Zhangxia unhappily and said, Aunt, you're blocking me. What are you doing? Facing Zhao Qianyu's impolite behavior, Feng Zhangxia was not angry. Instead, she smiled and said, Qianyu, do you want to eat something delicious? Zhao Qianyu paused and replied proudly, Aren't you talking nonsense? Of course I want to eat. Feng Zhangxia smiled and said, You want to eat something good? Let me tell you, your sister Yun'er brought back a lot of delicious food. Zhao Qianyu's eyes turned. He wanted to eat, but he knew that it was not easy to get food from Zhao Yun'er. So he replied unhappily, What does it have to do with me that she brought it back? Anyway, she won't give it to me. Well, you can still eat it. Zhao Qianyu continued to pull weeds as if he had no interest. Feng Zhangxia did not continue to argue and said directly, Qianyu, you can ask your mother for it. Ask your mother to talk to your third aunt. They will definitely give it to you. Auntie, is that true? Zhao Qianyu asked in disbelief. Feng Zhangxia nodded quickly and said, Of course it's true. How can I lie to you about this? Zhao Qianyu got up and said, Well, I'll go talk to my mother. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly reminded him, Qianyu, eldest aunt is thinking about you. She wants you to cook something delicious. Don't tell her that it's eldest aunt who told you this. I know. Zhao Qianyu answered impatiently and hurried to the front of the yard. Feng Zhangxia continued to dawdle for a while and pretended to go to the toilet. Then she slowly went to the front yard. Zhao Qianyu came up to Li Chuang and waved her hand. Mother, I want to eat delicious food. Li Chuang looked at Zhao Qianyu. Li Chuang frowned. What nonsense are you talking about? Where can I get you something delicious to eat? Zhao Qianyu pointed at the things that Zhao Yun'er had brought back into the house and said, Mother, Sister Yun'er brought back so much delicious food. I want to eat it too. Li Chuang looked embarrassed. What Zhao Yun'er brought back was brought back by Zhao Yun'er. It had nothing to do with her family. Could it be that she was going to ask Zhao Yun'er for it? Good boy, Tianyu. Don't make a fuss. Those are Sister Yun'er's food. What do you want to eat? I'll buy it in Yang City when I have time. Zhao Qianyu pursed his lips and said stubbornly, Mother, you've said this so many times. You still haven't bought anything delicious for me. I don't care. I want it. Zhao Qianyu said as he sat on the ground without caring about anything else. He opened his legs wide and looked like he was acting shamelessly. Li Chuang looked at him helplessly and hurriedly tugged at Zhao Qianyu. Child, what are you doing? Get up quickly. Mother, I want to eat delicious food. If I can't eat delicious food, I won't get up. Seeing that Zhao Qianyu was being disobedient, Li Chuang was so angry that her chest heaved up and down. She urged him, Get up. If you don't get up, Mother will be angry. No, I won't. I want to eat good food. Otherwise, I won't get up. Chapter 1948. Are you going to get up or not? If you don't get up, I'm going to beat you with a stick. Zhao Qianyu was not afraid of Li Chuanying's threat at all. He showed his trump card and sat on the ground crying, "Mother, you're so mean. You won't give me good food to eat. I won't like you anymore." Li Chuanying sighed heavily when she saw Zhao Qianyu crying. She wondered why she had given birth to such a son who liked to make a fuss in front of her. Zhao Qianyu's spoiled and willful temperament had something to do with her. If she had not spoiled Zhao Qianyu too much, Zhao Qianyu would not have become like this. She could not continue to spoil him. Otherwise, who knew what Zhao Qianyu would become in the future? Just as Li Chuanying was about to teach Zhao Qianyu a lesson with the stick, Liang Jinxiao hurriedly stopped her. "Second sister-in-law, forget it. The child needs some food. Don't hit him." "Third sister-in-law, don't stop me. Where do you think I'm going to get food for him? I'll ask Yuner to get some for you. Tianyu is still young. He only eats a little. He hasn't done anything bad." As Liang Jinxiao spoke, he walked in front of Zhao Yuner and discussed with Zhao Yuner. Among the things they brought back, Zhao Yuner had prepared a box of pastries for the second branch of the family. Now she simply gave it to Li Chuanying. She took out a box of pastries and handed it to Li Chuanying. "Second Andy, here, these are for your family. Have you tried the pastries from Yang City? They taste very good." Li Chuanying saw the exquisite pastries and was too embarrassed to accept them. They were obviously very valuable. She could accept ordinary things, but she was too ashamed to accept such valuable things. "Yuner, you're too polite. You should keep the good stuff for yourself. Why did you make it for me?" "Second sister-in-law, don't be so polite. Yuner asked you to take it, so just take it." Liang Jinxiao stuffed the cake into Li Chuanying's hand. "This." Li Chuanying still wanted to refuse, but Zhao Qianyu immediately rushed to Li Chuanying's side and snatched the pastries from Li Chuanying's hands. He grabbed one and stuffed it into his mouth. By the time Li Chuanying reacted, Zhao Qianyu had already eaten one and was about to grab a second one. "You child?" Li Chuanying looked at Zhao Qianyu helplessly. At this moment she couldn't return it to Zhao Yun, or even if she wanted to. Liang Jinxiao patted Li Chuanying's shoulder and said, Okay. The child ate it. Don't argue with the child." Li Chuanying replied apologetically, "Third sister-in-law, you and Yuner have spent so much money." "Second sister-in-law, what are you saying? We're family. Why are you being so polite?" Feng Zhangxia saw that she had succeeded in her goal and hurriedly chimed in, "That's right, second sister-in-law. You and third sister-in-law are too polite. We're sisters-in-law, not others. We're family. Why are you being so polite? Yuner gave it to you, so just accept it. She's filial to you. Our old Zhao family is blessed to have such a filial daughter like Yuner." The reason why she flattered Zhao Yuner was that she wanted Zhao Yuner to take out the first branch's share. Li Chuanying smiled and didn't say anything. His heart still ached for the box of pastries Zhao Yuner gave him. Chapter 1949. Could it be that Zhao Yuner was not going to give it to them? How could that be? Why did she give it to the second branch but not the first branch? They were all relatives, so they should be treated fairly, right? Zhao Yuner did not speak up, but when she did, she felt embarrassed. Feng Zhangxia felt a little uncomfortable sitting there, and her heart was burning with anxiety. In the end, she could not take it anymore and said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner, what are the pastries you brought back? How does it taste? We have never eaten them before." When she said this, she meant that she wanted Zhao Yuner to give her some to try. Liang Jinxiao had no choice but to say, "Yuner, can you give a box to your eldest aunt and fourth aunt too?" Zhao Yuner agreed, but she was not too willing to give the pastries to Feng Zhangxia. Zhao Yuner casually picked 2 boxes of the same kind and gave 1 box to each branch. Fortunately, she brought back a lot of pastries this time and reserved some for Mulan, so it was enough for the whole family. After receiving the pastries, Feng Zhangxia smiled contentedly and thanked Zhao Yuner. However, she could only bear to eat 1 piece of the entire box of pastries. She would bring the rest back for Zhao Wenshi, her daughter-in-law, and her grandson. As for Qin Zurio, she only ate 1 piece and handed 1 to Li Chuanying. The second branch's box of pastries was all taken by Zhao Qianyu, so Li Chuanying could not eat a single piece. After tasting the pastries, Feng Zhangxia sighed, "No wonder everyone wants to live a rich life. The food and drinks here are indeed different from ordinary food, and the taste is really good. How good would it be if we could eat them every day?" Qin Zurio joked, "Sister-in-law, wait until Tianlong becomes a high scholar. When he becomes an official, your wish will be fulfilled and you will be able to eat them every day." Feng Zhangxia smiled from ear to ear, if that's really the case, then I will definitely bring more back for all of you to eat. The few sisters-in-law were chatting happily, and the topic slowly shifted to Zhao Xinhui. Feng Zhangxia said mysteriously to her other sisters-in-law, "There's something I don't know if you've heard?" Qian Zhozha asked curiously, "What is it?" Feng Zhangxia said, "Yesterday I was chatting with Sister Lu in the village. I heard something about our little sister." "What's wrong with our little sister?" Several sisters-in-law started gossiping. "I don't know if it's true or not." Big sister Lu also received this news from Sun City. She heard that after her little sister married into the Huang Manor, she was dishonest and had an affair with the Huang Manor's servants. She was caught by young Master Huang. Young Master Huang directly taught his little sister a lesson and threw her out of the Huang residence. It could be said that he had divorced his little sister. Didn't his little sister go to Yang City that day? "You're back and aren't you injured?" The sisters-in-law thought about it, and it seemed that it was true that day. "It can't be, right?" Liang Jinxiao asked with a frown. "Doesn't young Master Huang treat my little sister well? Would his little sister be so foolish as to have an affair with a servant? Would she do something so indecent?" Feng Zhangxia said in a sharp voice, "That's not necessarily true. Third sister-in-law, you don't understand my little sister. My little sister is usually spoiled by our mother and is immature. It's not impossible for her to do something like that. Perhaps young Master Huang is rich but not good in that aspect. She couldn't bear the loneliness and had an affair with a servant." Chapter 1950. Liang Jinxiao recalled the rumors about Zhao Yuner in the village. He knew that many people like to make things up, so he said, "That's not necessarily true. You can't speak without evidence." Feng Zhangxia suddenly said, "How can there be no evidence? What those people said is not impossible. Think about it, how long has Xiaomei stayed at home? If nothing happened, why didn't young Master Huang take her back? Why did he leave her alone in the countryside to suffer? I noticed that mother's mood was not very good these days. It seems that something really happened." After listening to Feng Zhangxia's words, the sisters-in-law fell into silence. After a while, Qian Zhozha said, "If that's really the case, what should we do? Xiaomei can't always stay at old Zhao's house, right? Isn't that so? Xiaomei will definitely be laughed at home, and we will be laughed at too. Xiaomei married so grandly before, I'm afraid that she will only become the joke of Shuilan village in the future. Then it's better for Xiaomei to marry off. Yes, it's a good thing for us if Xiaomei marries off. At home, mother always has some conflicts with us because of Xiaomei. With Xiaomei's qualifications after being divorced by young Master Huang, it will be difficult for her to remarry, right? Those with good qualifications won't like Xiaomei, and those with bad qualifications are afraid that Xiaomei and mother won't like them." Speaking of this, Feng Zhangxia's interest was piqued. She quickly said, "Don't you know? Qin Yuan seems to like Xiaomei very much, and Xiaomei is also a little interested in him. Recently, Qin Yuan has been visiting Xiaomei from time to time. Who knows when the two of them will get together?" Feng Zhangxia blurted out without thinking. She did not notice that she was in front of Liang Jinxiao, and Qin Yuan was Liang Jinxiao's son-in-law and Zhao Pinger's husband. Qian Zhozha quickly poked Feng Zhangxia's arm and winked at her. Only then did Feng Zhangxia react. "But, third sister-in-law, I just said it casually. Don't take it to heart." A look of worry appeared on Liang Jinxiao's face. "Sister-in-law, is what you said true? Qin Yuan even went to visit little sister recently?" "This?" Feng Zhangxia hesitated for a moment, not knowing how to answer. "Sister-in-law, just tell me the truth. There's no need to hide it. I just want to know." Feng Zhangxia then responded, "Third sister-in-law, your son-in-law is really not an honest person. You say the two of them are one generation apart. What is the meaning of getting together? I'm just afraid that little sister will go back and look for that kid Qin Yuan to take over. Ping will have to suffer." Liang Jinxiao sighed, looking a little anxious. Feng Zhangxia regretted her words and hurriedly persuaded her, "Third sister-in-law, I'm just saying it casually. It's not necessarily true." Qian Zhozha also hurriedly comforted her, "Third sister-in-law, don't think too much. There shouldn't be anything between the two of them. Qin Yuan wouldn't do such a foolish thing. If they really get together, mother will definitely not agree. After all, it's incest. If people find out, won't they laugh at our old Zhao family? Yes. It's impossible for them to be together." Feng Zhangxia agreed. Unexpectedly, Liang Jinxiao said, "It's none of my business whether they get together or not. No matter how much Ping suffers, I won't care. You have to be responsible for the man you chose. Who can you blame if you can't watch over him?" Chapter 1951. This time, even if Zhao Xinhui and Qin Yuan did something, she wouldn't ask about it. After all, it was Zhao Ping'er's own choice, so she should bear the consequences herself. Feng Zhangxia and Chen Hongzhao both smiled and didn't know how to respond. They didn't know if Liang Jinxiao said this to comfort himself or if Liang Jinxiao really thought this way. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Third sister-in-law, it's getting late, so we'll go back first. We still have to make lunch when we get back. Feng Zhangxia stood up and said goodbye. Okay, then you can go back. Be careful on the road. The sisters-in-law stood up and left Zhao Yun'er's courtyard one after another. Feng Zhangxia was in a good mood because she received pastries from Zhao Yun, so she was very happy along the way. When the sisters-in-law arrived at old Zhao's house, they found that Zhao Ping'er and Qin Yuan had come over again. This time, Qin Yuan brought things over as usual. They were all good things to nourish Zhao Xinhui's body. Seeing this, Feng Zhangxia muttered, "Look, Ping'er's man is here again. Now he's becoming more and more open. If others see this, it won't be good. Do you want to remind Mother? Let Mother tell her not to let Ping'er's man continue to come here. If he comes here too many times, it will be hard to avoid being discovered by the villagers. When that time comes, it will be a bit embarrassing." Qian Zhozhi sighed and suggested. Li Chuiying frowned and said, "I don't think Mother will listen. Qin Yuan brings good things every time he comes over, and Mother is a greedy person. She definitely won't chase him away." Feng Zhangxia agreed, "Second sister-in-law, you're right. Mother is indeed that kind of person. If she has good things, she won't chase people away." Chen Hongzhao was still worried and said, "Whether or not she will is one thing and whether or not we remind her is another. I'm afraid that if something goes wrong, our whole old Zhao family will be laughed at together. Eldest sister-in-law, Sky Dragon will be taking the imperial examinations soon. If he really becomes an official, his family can't have any black marks. If Ping'er's man got together with his little sister, it would be incest. If this matter is known by others, even if Sky Dragon becomes a high-ranking official, he will definitely be laughed at in the officialdom." Feng Zhangxia originally didn't care about the matter, but now that she heard Qian's date spouting nonsense, she immediately became anxious. After all, what Qian Zhozhi said was not without reason. If Zhao Tianlong really passed the high scholar examination and became an official, the incest incident in his family would affect him. Even if she didn't want to get involved, she had no choice but to do so. Feng Zhangxia said, "Fourth sister-in-law, you're right. It's necessary to remind Mother about this matter. Don't let our old Zhao family become a joke of incest." "Yes, eldest sister-in-law, why don't you go and tell her about this matter?" Chen Hongzhao said. The reason why Chen Hongzhao didn't go by herself was that she was careful. After all, she didn't know Huo Chunhua's attitude. If she said something bad and made Huo Chunhua angry, it would be a thankless task. If she let Feng Zhangxia go, even if Huo Chunhua was angry, she would be scolding Feng Zhangxia and not her. After living for so long, although she was usually enthusiastic about helping others, she wasn't stupid enough to rush to the front of everything. The most important thing as a person was to not let oneself suffer too much. It was a good thing to be more careful in old Zhao family. Chapter 1952. Chen Hongzhao nodded, "That's right, sister-in-law. We don't have anything to do with it, but it's your family's Tianlong." Seeing that Feng Zhangxia didn't want to go, Chen Hongzhao purposely said this so that Feng Zhangxia wouldn't be able to push the blame onto someone else. Feng Zhangxia still looked unwilling, but when she thought about the consequences if Zhao Tianlong became an official, she could only grit her teeth and say, "All right, I'll go tell Mother." Sigh. Feng Zhangxia was secretly worried that Huo Chunhua would scold her, but there was no room for retreat. Feng Zhangxia slowly walked over to Huo Chunhua. "Mother, I have something to tell you." Huo Chunhua raised her eyebrows and replied, "If you have something to say, just say it." Feng Zhangxia smiled sheepishly, "Mother, it's about little sister and Qin Yuan's child." Huo Chunhua frowned, "What's up with the two of them?" "Mother, that kid Qin Yuan always comes to old Zhao's house to visit little sister. It's not very good, right?" "What's not good about it?" "Every time he comes, he brings something with him. Look, this time he brought longans back from Yang City. It's very nourishing when stewed with brown sugar." Huo Chunhua said as she waved the longans in her hand, looking very satisfied. "Oh, Mother, bringing things is one thing, but it's not good for him to come. There's been some gossip in the village saying that our little sister and Ping'er's man are having an affair. Many people are secretly laughing at us. Also, about little sister. The villagers say that little sister was chased away by young Master Huang and can't return to the Huang estate anymore." Feng Zhangxia said weakly as she anxiously observed Hua Chuanhua's expression, afraid that Hua Chunhua would scold her. As expected, Hua Chuanhua's expression darkened when she heard Feng Zhangxia's words. She didn't expect that news of young Master Huang chasing away Zhao Xinhui would spread to the village. It was true that paper couldn't wrap fire. Some things would be exposed one day. And this matter was very embarrassing. Originally, it was fine if the villagers didn't know about it, but obviously, everyone knew about it. Hua Chunhua only felt a burning pain on her face. Hua Chuanhua's lips trembled. What? Are these rumors spreading from the village? Hua Chunhua answered with a guilty conscience. What she said was the truth and the first part was made up by herself. She wanted Hua Chunhua to pay attention to it and not let Qin Yuan come to old Zhao's house again. Hua Chunhua was silent for a moment. How dare those lowly bastards say such things? How infuriating. Mother, gossip is a fearful thing. We don't know if little sister's story is true or not. They're just hearsay. When the time comes we can just deny it. But there's evidence that Pinger's man is having an affair with little sister. Qin Yuan comes to old Zhao's house all the time. The villagers aren't blind or stupid. Naturally they can see the clues. Feng Zhangxia rolled her eyes as she continued speaking. Hua Chunhua pursed her lips. What's wrong with that? Pinger's man is your little sister's junior. Since little sister is injured, he came to visit her and bought some things to show his filial piety. What's there to say about that? Hua Chunhua didn't seem to have any intention of chasing away Qin Yuan's man. She was probably thinking about the little things that Qin Yuan had given her. Feng Zhangxia immediately panicked. She silently cursed Hua Chunhua for being so greedy. She didn't realize the severity of the consequences. Wasn't she afraid of delaying her eldest grandson? Chapter 1953. Hua Chuanhua's face twitched. She knew that Feng Zhangxia's words made sense. The villagers were not stupid. How could they not see the clues? Even if Qin Yuan really came here to be filial, those gossipy old women loved to stir up trouble. They would gossip about things and hope that others would make a fool of themselves. Now that the news of incest had spread, how could old Zhao's family face the villagers in the future? Seeing Hua Chunhua frowning and thinking, Feng Zhangxia said, Mother, I think we should ask Qin Yuan not to come here again. If he doesn't come, the rumors will slowly die down. Otherwise, it will damage our little sister's reputation. Old Zhao's family will also be too ashamed to walk around the village. Hua Chunhua thought about it and felt that Qin Yuan shouldn't come here again. Okay, I'll go talk to him. Okay. Feng Zhangxia finally convinced Hua Chunhua. She heaved a sigh of relief. Hua Chunhua ran into the room to talk to Qin Yuan. Zhao Ping sat alone in the courtyard while Qin Yuan went to Zhao Xinhui's room. Although she wanted to go with him, Qin Yuan wouldn't let her. Zhao Pinger was afraid that Qin Yuan would be angry, so she could only stay in old Zhao's courtyard obediently. Qin Yuan had been here for a while. Every time Zhao Xinhui was here, he would ask about Zhao Xinhui's well-being. At that time, Zhao Xinhui's body and mind were very weak. As a result, Qin Yuan quickly walked into Zhao Xinhui's heart. Qin Yuan was good-looking and very considerate to Zhao Xinhui. Most importantly, he was obedient. Zhao Xinhui compared Qin Yuan with young Master Huang. She felt that Qin Yuan was no worse than young Master Huang except for the fact that he didn't have money. Money could be slowly made up for. Now, even if the family was poor, they were not as poor as before. Because he sold the pig offal, he slowly began to accumulate some money. While chatting with Qin Yuan, Zhao Xinhui came up with an idea, which was to let Qin Yuan open a restaurant. He could earn so much money by selling pig offal every day. If he opened a restaurant and sold other dishes every day, he could earn even more money. The pig offal could be used as the restaurant's signature dish to attract business. As long as they hired a good chef, they wouldn't have to worry about not having business for a long time. Sun City was considered a rich place in the Great Zhou country. If one properly managed the restaurant, they would earn quite a bit of money. However, opening a restaurant was not a small expense. From renting the storefront to renovating and hiring workers, it would cost at least 1 to 200 taels of silver to set up a restaurant. The current Qin Yuan couldn't fork out so much money, but Zhao Xinhui could. The gold, silver, and jewelry that young Master Huang gave her added up to over 1,000 taels of silver. It was enough for her to live for the rest of her life. If she wanted to be richer in the future, she couldn't just sit around and eat until she ran out of money. She had to do business to earn money. When Qin Yuan saw that Zhao Xinhui was willing to fork out money to open a restaurant for him, he was very excited. If he really opened a restaurant, he would earn more money than he did now. If he could earn a lot of money every day, wouldn't he become rich very quickly? You're so good. You're always thinking for me. Now you're even willing to fork out money for me to open a restaurant. Qin Yuan held Zhao Xinhui's hand and said excitedly. Zhao Xinhui smiled sweetly. I'm willing to fork out money for you to open a restaurant because I want you to earn more money in the future. Only then can you bring me to a better life. Chapter 1954. Zhao Xinhui blushed. You can say that now, but you won't forget about me when you become rich, right? Qin Yuan quickly raised his hand and swore, what are you talking about? Don't you know how sincere I am towards you? You're the only person I'll love in this lifetime. No matter if I'm rich or poor, you're the only one I'll love. If I forget about you when I become rich, then I'll be struck by lightning and die a horrible death. Zhao Xinhui quickly covered Qin Yuan's mouth. All right, I believe you. Don't curse yourself anymore. Qin Yuan laughed happily. Qin Yuan's heart was filled with anticipation when he thought about the wonderful life they would have in the future. The two of them hugged each other intimately. At the same time they began to fantasize. If we really earn enough money we can buy a house in Yang City and hire a few servants to take care of your daily needs. We won't be staying in a barren place like the countryside. You can have anything you want to eat or play with. Yang City is very convenient. Zhao Xinhui's heart skipped a beat when she heard this. If they really bought a house in Yang City and hired servants, even though it wouldn't be as good as the Huang residences, they would still be able to live the life of a master. Most importantly, she would be the mistress of the house. She could do whatever she wanted and wouldn't have to care about other people's opinions. Zhao Xinhui planned to marry Qin Yuan when the business of Qin Yuan's restaurant improved. However, she remembered that Qin Yuan still had Zhao Ping'er by his side. If she married Qin Yuan, would she be his wife or concubine? It was fine if she became young Master Huang's concubine, but if she became Qin Yuan's concubine, her status would be lower than Zhao Ping'er's. Zhao Xinhui wasn't happy about it. Thus, Zhao Xinhui asked Qin Yuan, if I marry you in the future, what are you going to do with Zhao Ping'er? Let me tell you, I won't be a concubine, and I won't share a man with Ping'er last to avoid being laughed at. Qin Yuan hurriedly said, don't worry about this matter. When you marry me, I will divorce Ping'er. Zhao Xinhui frowned. Thinking about it, it seemed to be too cruel to Zhao Xinhui. He said, it's not good to divorce Ping'er, right? That Ping'er girl is too pitiful. Qin Yuan praised Zhao Xinhui. You're too kind. Why do you still care about Zhao Ping'er? She's so ugly and she's so ugly. It's normal for her to be divorced. Which man can stand her? Zhao Xinhui pondered for a moment. Although Ping'er is stupid, she listens to you. She's pregnant with your family Qin's child. If you divorce her, you'll be criticized. Your parents will definitely not agree. Qin Yuan couldn't help but ask, there's no point in worrying so much. Don't tell me we're not going to divorce Zhao Ping'er? Wouldn't that be unfair to you? Zhao Xinhui's eyes darted around. He calculated and said, Qin Yuan, don't you have an idiot older brother? Why don't we let Zhao Ping'er be his wife? This doesn't count as driving her out. We'll be able to live a good life and bring her along. We're already doing our best. Upon hearing Zhao Xinhui's words, Qin Yuan readily agreed. That's a good idea. It's good to keep Zhao Xinhui as my older brother's wife. The child in her belly might even be my older brother's. Chapter 1955. All right, it's decided then. Zhao Xinhui was also very satisfied with this outcome. The two of them snuggled up to each other and their love for each other grew stronger. After Huo Chunhua entered the house, she saw Zhao Xinhui and Qin Yuan being lovey-dovey. Huo Chunhua's face immediately fell. She didn't expect the two of them to progress so quickly and even get together. If this continued, they would really end up together. Without even thinking, Huo Chunhua was certain that it was Qin Yuan who had seduced his Hui. Thus, she let out a torrent of abuse. Shameless thing, you even dare to touch my Hui. Hurry and get out of my way. Qin Yuan was so frightened that he hurriedly retreated to the side. His mouth trembled as he explained, Grandma, my aunt and I are in love. Huo Chunhua spat at Qin Yuan. Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself in the mirror? Do you think you're good enough for Hui? Grandma. Qin Yuan called out weakly. In front of Huo Chunhua, he couldn't muster up much courage because he knew that Huo Chunhua looked down on him. Who asked them to be poor? They were used to being looked down upon by others. Huo Chunhua said with a cold face, Let me tell you, there are already rumors in the village. It's bad for Hui's reputation. I think you shouldn't come to my house next time. Qin Yuan immediately became anxious. Grandma. If I don't come, how can I see my aunt? All right. In any case, don't be a toad lusting after a swan's meat and have designs on our families. If I tell you not to come, then don't come. What's the point of saying so much nonsense? Hua Chunhua scolded in displeasure. Qin Yuan's pleading gaze fell on Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui quickly tugged at Hua Chunhua. Mother, what are you doing? Qin Yuan came over because he cares about me. How can you let him go? Hua Chunhua sighed and spoke to Zhao Xinhui in a much gentler tone. I'm doing this for your own good. The people in the village are too mean. Don't let him come over again. What they say is their own business. Let's do our own thing. Why do we have to care about what others say? Seeing this, Hua Chunhua asked anxiously, don't tell me you've taken a liking to this guy? You'll lead a hard life if you're with him. Moreover, he's Pinger's man. If you're with him, wouldn't it be incest? That's what the villagers are laughing at. Zhao Xinhui shouted, Mother. When the time comes, Qin Yuan can just divorce Pinger. Now that the family isn't as poor as before, they're even preparing to open a restaurant. When the restaurant's business is good and it makes a lot of money, not only will you not lead a hard life but you'll also be able to enjoy life with him. Hua Chunhua gaped in surprise. What? Qin Yuan is opening a restaurant? Yes, Mother. Do you think opening a restaurant in Yang City will make money? Although Hua Chunhua didn't know much, she knew that opening a restaurant would definitely make money. He's so capable now? Hua Chunhua muttered in surprise. Mother, won't you find out in the future whether it's true or not? That's true. But do you mean that you're really willing to be with this guy? Zhao Xinhui frowned. Mother, look at me. I've already been divorced by my husband's family. How can I find a good in-law? Chapter 1956. Hua Chunhua did not reply, but she took Zhao Xinhui's words to heart. If that was the case, then Qin Yuan was indeed a good choice. She was afraid that Qin Yuan did not have the ability to fool Zhao Xinhui. Her daughter was also very naive and would believe whatever others said. If that brat really becomes successful in the future, you won't object to being together with him. But before that, it's best to avoid him. So it's best if you don't come to Qin Yuan so that people won't gossip, Hua Chunhua said firmly. Mother. Zhao Xinhui tried to persuade Hua Chunhua, but before she could finish, she was rejected by Hua Chunhua. There's no room for discussion. You have to think about me, your father, and our old Zhao family. So many people are waiting to laugh at us. You're already so old, so you should be more sensible. I'm not completely against it. When Qin Yuan becomes successful, I'll come and look for you in a grand manner. Isn't that good? Seeing that there was no room for negotiation, Zhao Xinhui could only say, all right then. Mother, can you let me talk to Qin Yuan alone for a while? Let him go after I'm done, okay? Hua Chunhua reluctantly nodded in agreement. Okay, let him hurry up. Okay. After Hua Chunhua left, Qin Yuan approached Zhao Xinhui with an anxious expression. What should I do now? I feel uneasy if I don't see you for a day. Didn't you hear what my mother said? If you want to see me sooner and be with me sooner, then hurry up and open the restaurant. Once you've earned enough money, won't we be able to see each other every day? Zhao Xinhui said coquettishly. Qin Yuan was immediately filled with enthusiasm when he heard this. Okay, then I'll open the restaurant as soon as possible. I'll definitely bring you to a good life. I'll marry you as soon as possible. Zhao Xinhui smiled, took out a money bag and handed it to the Qin Yuan. This is the capital. Take it. Don't let me down. Qin Yuan took the bag of silver ingots and estimated that there were more than 100 taels of silver. It was enough to open a restaurant. Qin Yuan nodded solemnly. I'll work hard for you. Trust me. Zhao Xinhui threw herself into Qin Yuan's arms and said softly, although I won't be able to see you for a while, I know that it's for the sake of a better start for us. Qin Yuan, I hope you can succeed this time. Qin Yuan lowered his head and kissed Zhao Xinhui's forehead. He replied dotingly, Don't worry, I won't let you down. The two of them were reluctant to part. Just then they heard Hua Chunhua impatiently standing in the courtyard and urging them to leave. Qin Yuan reluctantly let go of Zhao Xinhui and said to Zhao Xinhui, I'll leave first. Take good care of yourself. Yes, I will. Zhao Xinhui nodded heavily. The two of them were like a couple in love. When they parted, they were full of reluctance. Old Zhao's sisters-in-law finally breathed a sigh of relief when they heard that Qin Yuan had been driven away by Hua Chunhua. Feng Zhangxia sighed. Fortunately, Mother isn't too unreasonable. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do. Yes. Fortunately. Qin Hongzhao said. Now we don't have to worry anymore. Sister-in-law, let's go make dinner. It's getting late. Chapter 1957. How could they have disappeared? Feng Zhangxia rummaged through the cupboard a few more times, but she still couldn't find them. Her face instantly darkened. Unless they had been stolen, it was impossible for them to disappear without a trace. Unfortunately, her sisters-in-law had all gone to Liang Jinxiao's place to chat during the day, and they weren't in old Zhao's courtyard. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly looked for Hua Chunhua and asked her about it. Mother, did you see any outsiders coming to our house today? What outsiders? Other than Pinger and Qin Yuan, I didn't see anyone else coming to our house. Feng Zhangxia thought for a moment. Zhao Pinger had been sitting in the courtyard the whole time, and she didn't see anything in her pocket when she came back. Besides, Zhao Pinger and Qin Yuan both looked very rich and had sent so many good things over. How could they have gone through so much trouble just to steal 2 eggs? Since it wasn't an outsider and it wasn't Zhao Pinger or Qin Yuan, did it mean that it was a family member who had stolen the eggs? Feng Zhangxia suspected that it was either Hua Chunhua or Zhao Wenshui who had stolen the eggs. Hua Chunhua usually liked to take advantage of small things. Perhaps she had seen the 2 eggs in her house and casually took them and gave them to Zhao Xinhui to nourish her body. Zhao Wenshui was a glutton. Previously, he had even secretly drunk the chicken soup, so it was even more likely that he had stolen the 2 eggs in her house. Feng Zhangxia frowned and asked Hua Chunhua cautiously, Mother, did you see the 2 eggs in my cupboard? Hua Chunhua replied with a puzzled expression. How would I know if there were eggs in your cupboard? Why are you asking me this? Feng Zhangxia smiled embarrassedly. But, Mother, the 2 eggs in my cupboard suddenly disappeared, so I came over to ask if you saw them. Hua Chunhua's face darkened. She was not a fool. How could she not know what Feng Zhangxia meant? She then yelled at Feng Zhangxia, You black-hearted woman, how dare you suspect this old woman? Am I that kind of person? Feng Zhangxia quickly smiled apologetically. Mother, don't be angry. I didn't mean it that way. You don't mean that? Then what do you mean? Mother, I just asked casually. I didn't say it was you. Bah. Hua Chunhua spat a mouthful of saliva on the ground. If I wanted to take it, I wouldn't have stolen it. I would have just asked you for it. Yes. Feng Zhangxia quickly responded. Hua Chunhua rolled her eyes a few times and went into the kitchen. Meanwhile, Feng Zhangxia was really thinking about the whereabouts of her 2 eggs. Since it wasn't Hua Chunhua who took it, it must be Zhao Wenshui. At the thought of this, Feng Zhangxia felt a little angry and rushed into the second branch's room. The moment Feng Zhangxia walked into Zhao Wenshui's room, she shouted angrily at Zhao Wenshui, Second brother. Zhao Wenshui was lying on the bed. When he saw Feng Zhangxia come in, he immediately smiled apologetically and said, Sister-in-law, what are you doing in my room? Before Feng Zhangxia could question Zhao Wenshui rolled his eyes and muttered to himself, Sister-in-law, if you miss me, you don't have to come to my room in broad daylight. This is too blatant. You should tell me secretly that we're going out at night. Hearing Zhao Wenshui's filthy words, Feng Zhangxia's face instantly turned red. Chapter 1958. Fortunately, no one in the house heard her. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to explain herself. Zhao Wenshui was shameless, but she was. If someone with ulterior motives heard this and spread rumors, she would be too ashamed to continue staying in the village. Zhao Wenshui smiled wickedly and said, Sister-in-law, you're much prettier than my wife. I know Big Brother has been injured recently, so there's definitely nothing going on between the 2 of you. You must be feeling lonely and want someone to help you loosen the soil, right? Sister-in-law, you found the right person. I'll definitely work harder than Big Brother. Feng Zhangxia's face turned even redder. She spat on Zhao Wenshui's face and said, Second brother, what nonsense are you talking about? You only have these dirty thoughts in your head. I'm telling you, don't talk nonsense with me. There's nothing going on between the 2 of us. Don't make it sound like there's something going on between us. Zhao Wenshui was stunned and a touch of disappointment appeared between his eyebrows. Sister-in-law, if you didn't come looking for me because of this, then why did you come to my house? Feng Zhangxia was furious at Zhao Wenshui. Second brother, did you steal the 2 eggs in my cupboard? Sister-in-law, Zhao Wenshui felt guilty and didn't know how to respond. He had indeed stolen the 2 eggs in the cupboard in the first room. Because he had slept until dawn and Li Chuiying wasn't home when he woke up, he couldn't find anything to eat in the kitchen. He didn't have to think about it to know that his wife must have done it on purpose. In the end, he could only look in the cupboard in the first room. When he saw the 2 eggs, he cooked them and ate them to fill his stomach. Unexpectedly, Feng Zhangxia came looking for him. Seeing Zhao Wenshui's reaction, Feng Zhangxia knew very well that Zhao Wenshui must have stolen the 2 eggs. She couldn't help but scold him again. "Second brother, aren't you going too far? Why did you have to be a thief? I only had a few eggs left at home and you stole them. What do you want my Yang Yang to eat?" Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, "Sister-in-law, don't be angry. It's just 2 eggs. I was hungry during the day so I cooked it and ate it. I didn't steal it. Originally, I wanted to wait for you to come back and tell you. Now that you've come to ask me about it, I'll compensate you. I'll compensate you, all right?" Feng Zhangxia's expression softened a little. If Zhao Wenshui was willing to compensate, she could forgive him. "Second brother, 1 egg is 1 copper coin, but you took 2 of my eggs without my permission, so you have to compensate me with 1 copper coin. Give me 3 copper coins." Zhao Wenshui replied with a smile. Okay, sister-in-law. 3 yuan it is." When Feng Zhangxia saw that Zhao Wenshui was so easy to talk to, she was secretly happy that she had gotten a copper coin for free. However, he didn't show it on his face. Instead, he said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, at least you know your place. Hurry up and give me the 3 copper coins." "Okay." Zhao Wenshui answered, then eagerly went to rummage through the boxes and cabinets. Zhao Wenshui took out 3 copper coins from the box and handed it to Feng Zhangxia. Feng Zhangxia took it, but Zhao Wenshui grabbed Feng Zhangxia's hand. Feng Zhangxia exclaimed, "Second brother, what are you doing?" Zhao Wenshui smiled wretchedly, "Sister-in-law, your hand is so beautiful. It feels so comfortable to touch." Chapter 1959. Zhao Wenshui dared to molest her. You let go of me." Feng Zhangxia exclaimed in a low voice. She didn't dare to be too loud for fear of alarming the people outside. Zhao Wenshui pushed his luck. "Sister-in-law, I'm just touching you. It's no big deal, right? Don't go too far. I'm your sister-in-law. How can you molest me like this?" Zhao Wenshui still didn't intend to let go. "Sister-in-law, I just think you're prettier than my wife. I didn't dare to say it before and I couldn't find a chance to say it. Now that you've come to me in person, I can't help it. Sister-in-law, look at big brother lying on the bed and can't move. How can a woman not have a man for so long? Let me help you." As Zhao Wenshui spoke, he pulled Feng Zhangxia into his arms. Feng Zhangxia struggled, but she couldn't break free from Zhao Wenshui's embrace. "You, hurry up and let go of me. What are you doing? This is something only an animal would do." Zhao Wenshui leaned close to Feng Zhangxia and sniffed her body. He said to Feng Zhangxia, "Sister-in-law, you smell so good. You're an animal." Feng Zhangxia's face flushed and she cursed in a low voice. Go away, go away. If you don't let go, I'm going to scream. You'll be beaten to death for behaving like an animal." Zhao Wenshui smiled fawningly and said, "Sister-in-law, can you bear to see me get beaten up?" Feng Zhangxia felt disgusted. "Bah, why can't I bear to see you get beaten up? Sister-in-law, I'm not worse than big brother. How can you be so cruel to me?" Feng Zhangxia was very anxious. Zhao Wenshui refused to let go of her. She didn't know what to do now. Although Zhao Wenshui wasn't good at work, he was more than enough to deal with a woman like her. She couldn't break free, but she didn't dare to shout out loud. If someone saw this scene, it would be terrible. While she was worrying, Li Chuiying and Chen Hongzhao suddenly rushed in. Li Chuiying was going to give Chen Hongzhao some rags at home, but who knew that when she came in she would see Zhao Wenshui and Feng Zhangxia hugging each other. What are you doing?" Li Chuiying's eyes were filled with shock. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly let go of Feng Zhangxia. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly explained to Li Chuiying, "Sister-in-law, it's not what you think." Li Chuiying opened his mouth. "But sister-in-law, you, second sister-in-law, don't misunderstand. There's nothing between me and second brother. It's all second brother's fault. He insisted on carrying me over and doing what a beast would do." Feng Zhangxia said, wiping the tears from the corner of her eyes. Thinking about it, she felt wronged. "Second brother, what's going on? How can you hug sister-in-law properly?" Chen Hongzhao asked with a frown. The more she thought about it, the more she felt that it was strange. Zhao Wenshui was at a loss for words. He didn't know how to explain. They were already seen, so he couldn't say that he didn't hug her. Li Chuiying's resentful eyes fell on Zhao Wenshui. He snorted and said, "I think he's just lustful. He can't do anything to other people, so he wants to do something to sister-in-law." Li Chuanying knew very well that with Zhao Wenshui's qualities, who would want him? He was lazy and lazy every day. Just looking at him was annoying. Chapter 1960. Zhao Wenshui's ears turned red. Although he was usually thick-skinned, he could not allow others to talk about him like that. He scolded Li Chuanying, "You be asterisk tist, what nonsense are you talking about?" Li Chuanying's neck was red as she said, "Isn't that right? Tianyu's father, it's fine that you did it in the past. I thought you would be a good person, but it seems like a leopard can't change its spots. You only want to do such dirty things." Feng Zhangxia also hurriedly complained tearfully, "Second brother, I'm different from that widow Qian. I'm a decent woman. I won't do such things with you. If there's any bad news about me this time, I won't let you off." Zhao Wenshui's expression became even uglier. He clenched his fists. Li Chuanying did not give him any face at all. He was her man after all. How could she talk about him like that in front of others? "You ugly b****, if you dare to say anything more, I'll punish you." Qian Zondate hurriedly stood in front of Li Chuanying and said to Zhao Wenshui unhappily, "Second brother, aren't you going too far? You're in the wrong this time. Why are you being so fierce to second sister-in-law?" Li Chuanying complained tearfully, "Hasn't he always been like this? He's heartless. I must have been blind to live with him. When I came back for Jinger's sake, I thought he would repent. Now I know that it's harder to get someone like him to repent than to reach the heavens." Qian Zondate looked at Li Chuanying sympathetically. The most pitiful thing about a woman was that she married an unreliable man. Sometimes it was fine to be a little poor. The most important thing was that both of them worked hard. As long as the man cherished the woman would also be able to live a happy life. However, his second brother was simply inhumane. He only knew how to do such dirty things and hurt Li Chuanying time and time again. It was bad enough that he ordered Li Chuanying around every day, but he was actually disloyal. "Second sister-in-law, it's better to ask our father to uphold justice for this matter. Second brother must give you an explanation. We also need to give sister-in-law an explanation. How could our old Zhao family do such a thing?" Qian Zhui said with a serious face. "Okay." Li Chuanying gritted his teeth and replied. She really needed an explanation for this matter. Anyway, she didn't want to continue living with Zhao Wenshui. Feng Zhangxia also agreed, "Yes, let father uphold justice for this matter. There is nothing between me and second brother, but he did such a thing to me." Zhao Wenshui was worried. If Zhao Bensha knew about it, he would break his legs. Thus, he begged with a bitter face, "Tianyu's mother, sister-in-law, I was wrong. I won't do it again. Please don't tell father about this matter, okay?" Li Chuanying and Feng Zhangxia had no intention of relenting. Zhao Wenshui became even more worried. "Wife, sister-in-law, please don't tell father. I really know I was wrong. Please forgive me this time." Li Chuanying said coldly, "Tianyu's father, you have to have a conscience. Haven't I given you enough chances? How could you treat me like this? At this point, you still want me to give you another chance? Even if I let you go, shouldn't you be punished for treating sister-in-law like this?" Chapter 1961. Feng Zhangxia wanted to prove her innocence. She couldn't let her two sisters-in-law misunderstand, and she couldn't let Zhao Wenshui treat her like this in the future. This matter had to be put on the table and made clear. If she punished Zhao Wenshui well, Zhao Wenshui probably wouldn't dare to do it again in the future. She couldn't be too merciful to this kind of person who couldn't change his habits. Second sister-in-law and fourth sister-in-law are right. Second brother, people like you who are worse than animals should be taught a lesson. Let father uphold justice for me." Feng Zhangxia said with a cold face. Zhao Wenshui suddenly panicked. "Sister-in-law, daughter-in-law? Ooh, I really don't dare. Please don't tell father. You can ask me to do anything in the future as long as you don't tell father." Looking at Zhao Wenshui's appearance, the women had a lot of disgust for him. He had the desire to do it but didn't have the courage. Didn't he think of the consequences of doing it? The three women ignored Zhao Wenshui and turned to leave the second branch's room. Zhao Baoshan just came back from working in the fields and was about to have lunch when he saw his daughters-in-law walk up to him with a strange expression. "What's wrong with you?" Zhao Baoshan asked casually. Feng Zhangxia immediately cried and complained, "Father, you have to uphold justice for me." Zhao Baoshan frowned and replied, "What's wrong? What do you want me to uphold justice for? If you have something to say it clearly." Feng Zhangxia cried and complained with snot and tears. After hearing Feng Zhangxia's words, Zhao Baoshan's face had already darkened. He scolded, "That animal doing all these dirty things. Eating all day long, being lazy and doing things like stealing. I won't count him. Previously, I didn't care much about what he did to Widow Qian. Now, he has stretched his claws to the head of his own family and can do such things to his own sister-in-law. Isn't it shameful to say it out loud? You've really disgraced yourself, and you've also disgraced our whole family. If I don't teach him a lesson today, my surname isn't Zhao anymore. Zhao Baoshan was so angry that he wanted to skin Zhao Wenshui alive. If this matter was spread out, they would become a laughing stock. In the future, old Zhao's family would not be able to raise their heads in the village. Where is Lao Er? Where is Lao Er? Seeing that Zhao Wenshui was not in front of him, Zhao Baoshan shouted. At this moment, Zhao Wenshui didn't dare to come out. He directly hid under the bed, afraid that Zhao Baoshan would find him. Father, second brother is still in the room. Qian Zhui replied. Zhao Baoshan walked around the courtyard and rushed into the second branch's room with a wooden stick in his hand. You bastard, hurry up and come out. Zhao Wenshui was so scared that he shivered and hid under the bed, not daring to make a sound. When Zhao Baoshan saw that there was no one in the room, he grumbled unhappily, Where is she? Where is she? Where did she go? Just now, Zhao Wenshui didn't come out and didn't leave the courtyard, so he must still be in the second branch's room. Li Chuanying replied, Father, she must still be hiding in the room. Zhao Baoshan immediately scolded, Stinking brat, you bastard, where did you hide? Hurry up and come out. If you don't come out, I'll teach you a lesson. Zhao Wenshui shivered and thought that he would die even faster if he came out. He would only come out if he was a fool. Chapter 1962. Zhao Wenshui thought that Li Chuanying was right. The house was only so big. Where could Zhao Wenshui hide? So they rummaged through the cabinets and finally found Zhao Wenshui under the bed. Zhao Baoshan became even angrier when he saw Zhao Wenshui, a grown man, cowering under the bed. What kind of bastard did he give birth to? He had simply thrown away all of his old face. He had the guts to do dirty things but didn't have the guts to take responsibility. Now he was hiding under the bed. As a man, how could he hide under the bed? Bastard, come out. Zhao Baoshan yelled at Zhao Wenshui under the bed. Father? Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Baoshan pitifully. When he saw the wooden stick in Zhao Baoshan's hand, he didn't dare to come out. Father, if you don't hit me, I'll come out. Zhao Wenshui bargained. No matter what, he had to fight for it. Don't hit you? If I don't hit you, you'll be overthrown. Look at what you've done. You still have the nerve to ask me not to hit you? Today I'll teach you a lesson about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Zhao Baoshan said with a dark face. Zhao Wenshui curled his lips and hid under the bed. Father, if you don't agree and insist on hitting me, then I'll hide under the bed and not come out. Hearing Zhao Wenshui's words, Zhao Benshin's beard almost blew up. However, he couldn't crawl under the bed like Zhao Wenshui and drag Zhao Wenshui out. After all, he was old and his legs were not very convenient. His wives were all women. Even if they crawled under the bed, they wouldn't be able to drag Zhao Wenshui out. However, if he let Zhao Wenshui hide under the bed, he wouldn't be able to deal with him. How could he take it lying down? If you know what's good for you, then hurry up and come out. Don't force me to make a move. When the time comes, you'll suffer together with me. Zhao Baoshan warned. Zhao Wenshui replied pitifully, Father, I'm going to be beaten anyway. If I come out later, I'll be beaten later. I won't come out. Zhao Baoshan saw that Zhao Wenshui's ruffian appearance made people angry and worried, so he said to Li Chuanying, second daughter-in-law, bring the iron fork from home. If he doesn't come out, I'll use the fork to stab him to death. The pitchfork that Zhao Baoshan mentioned was a farming tool. It was usually used to fork rice. The handle was very long and the top was shaped like a bull's horn. However, it was made of iron and was very sharp. If it really pierced into a person's body, it could kill them. Hearing Zhao Baoshan's words, Zhao Wenshui was so scared that he peed his pants under the bed. His father was too ruthless, wasn't he? How could he think of such a move? He wasn't soft-hearted at all. After all, he was his biological son. Father, I'll come out. I'll come out right away. Zhao Wenshui trembled and hurriedly crawled out from under the bed. However, as soon as he came out, he was greeted with Zhao Baoshan's wooden stick. I'll beat you to death, you bastard. Didn't you say you wouldn't come out? Keep hiding. The wooden stick fell on Zhao Wenshui's body. Zhao Wenshui felt a burst of pain and shouted, Father, it hurts so much. Stop hitting me. Zhao Baoshan hit him while snorting coldly. Stop hitting? You bastard, you still know pain? Why don't you think about what you've done and whether you deserve to be hit? Zhao Wenshui hurriedly admitted his mistake. Father, I was wrong. I was wrong. I won't dare to do it again. Please spare me this time. Chapter 1963. Father. I really won't do it again. I was just confused for a moment. Please forgive me. Zhao Wenshui begged as he dodged. After being hit several times, Zhao Wenshui felt that his body couldn't take it anymore. His body was probably bruised and swollen. Zhao Baoshan was tired, so he stopped to take a breather. Father, what do you think we should do about this? Second brother did such a thing to me. If others find out, I won't have the face to live. Feng Zhangxia cried as she wiped her tears. Zhao Baoshan sighed heavily. He had hit and scolded his son, but his second son's behavior was too much. His eldest daughter-in-law probably still felt uncomfortable. If he didn't deal with it properly, his eldest daughter-in-law would definitely complain. Thus, Zhao Baoshan said, "Eldest daughter-in-law, I'll leave this brat to you. You can do whatever you want." Feng Zhangxia thought for a moment. Father, this matter will affect my reputation after all. I don't want to live in the same courtyard as second brother in the future. Seeing him makes me sad. Zhao Wenshui was a little puzzled. But we only have one house. We have to live under the same roof. Feng Zhangxia said with a cold face, then let second brother compensate me. I'll take the money and go outside to build a house. Jing'er will have a lot of betrothal gifts after she gets married. There should be dozens of taels. Give me 15 taels and I'll forget about this matter. 15 taels of silver wasn't a lot, but it definitely wasn't a small amount. With the 15 taels of silver she could add some more. Then she could build a brick house like Zhao Yiner's house. Of course, Zhao Yiner's house was so expensive because there were more than 10 rooms. Their family could build 3 or 4 rooms together. They could save on materials and wages. They could live in a brick house. It was definitely much better than living in old Zhao's shabby courtyard. After hearing Feng Zhangxia's request, Zhao Wenshui naturally didn't agree. Li Chuan was also a little unhappy. At the end of the day, the money was given by his precious daughter's husband's family after she got married. It belonged to him and Zhao Wenshui. Why should he pay for Zhao Wenshui's actions? Moreover, 15 taels of silver was enough for a family to use for a long time. It was enough to buy a few mu of land. Sister-in-law, aren't you being too greedy? If I give you 15 taels of silver, what am I going to eat in the future? Zhao Wenshui said directly. Feng Zhangxia said unhappily, second brother, I don't want money. You can move out of old Zhao's house and compensate me for my mental damage. Or you can build a house for me as long as I don't see you. Zhao Wenshui had a difficult expression on his face. How could he possibly do this? His sister-in-law was simply making things difficult for him on purpose. Where could he go if he moved away from old Zhao's house? Sister-in-law, if that's not possible, then take out another 15 taels of silver. Feng Zhangxia's attitude was very tough. She didn't want to suffer for nothing. This time she wanted to take advantage of Zhao Wenshui. Otherwise she would feel sorry for herself. Father? Zhao Wenshui's eyes fell on Zhao Baoshan. He hoped that Zhao Baoshan could say a few words for him. Chapter 1964. Wenshu, you have to give an explanation for what you did to your sister-in-law. Otherwise, how are you going to explain it to your big brother? Zhao Baoshan replied after a moment of silence. It would have been fine if Zhao Baoshan had not mentioned Zhao Wenshu, but the moment he mentioned Zhao Wenshu, Zhao Wenshui could not help but tremble. If his big brother found out, he would definitely kill him. Although his big brother was lying in bed and had not fully recovered from his injuries, he was almost fully recovered and was more than capable of beating him up. Just as Zhao Wenshui was frowning, Zhao Wenshu stood behind them and asked in a deep voice, "What did Wenshu do?" Zhao Wenshui raised his head nervously and looked at Zhao Wenshu. His legs trembled even more. Big brother. Why are you here? You guys made such a big fuss that I was worried something might happen, so I came over. What exactly happened? Tell me quickly. Feng Zhangxia choked with sobs when she saw her man coming over. She rushed over to Zhao Wenshu and told him what had happened. Zhao Wenshu's face turned ashen when he heard what she said. This damn second brother of his. Of all the women in the world, he dared to hit on his. He did not care about their brotherly relationship at all. He had almost made him a cuckold. No man could tolerate that. Zhao Wenshu clenched his fists and wanted to rush over and beat Zhao Wenshui up. You bastard. How dare you hit your sister-in-law? You must have some guts. Zhao Wenshu grabbed Zhao Wenshui's collar. Zhao Wenshui's legs trembled and the urine in his pants flowed down his legs again. He had already peed when he was frightened by Zhao Baoshan. Now that Zhao Wenshu had grabbed him, he peed even more. His crotch was soaked and the smell of urine spread in the air. Zhao Wenshui smiled fawningly. Big brother. I was wrong. Please forgive me. I won't do it again. A man could not bear to see his woman being humiliated by another man. This was a matter of dignity. If word got out, not only would Zhao Wenshui be embarrassed, but he would also be criticized by others. Therefore he had to vent his anger. Otherwise Zhao Wenshui would be too easy. Zhao Wenshui said lightly and punched Zhao Wenshui's face. Zhao Wenshui fell to the ground. The fall wasn't light and he cried out in pain, "Ouch! Big brother. I was wrong. Don't hit me. If you hit me I'll die. You deserve it even if I beat you to death. We're brothers but you're good. You want to have ideas about your own sister-in-law? I'm going to cut off your head today." As Zhao Wenshui spoke, he rushed out of the courtyard and took a knife from the kitchen. Zhao Wenshui's face turned pale for a moment. Seeing Zhao Wenshui's agitated appearance, he might really kill him. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly pleaded with Feng Zhangxia. Big sister, I beg you. Please persuade big brother." Feng Zhangxia was unmoved and ignored Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui immediately agreed to Feng Zhangxia's request. "Big sister, I'll compensate you with 15 taels of silver. Is that enough? If you persuade big brother, I'll give you 15 taels of silver. Otherwise, if big brother acts impulsively, I might really lose my life." Zhao Wenshui weighed the pros and cons in his heart. Compared to money and his life was naturally more important. Chapter 1965. When Feng Zhangxia heard this, she snorted, "Then I'll persuade your big brother." Zhao Wenshui placed his life in Feng Zhangxia's hands. If Feng Zhangxia couldn't stop him, then he would be finished today. The more he thought about it, the more Zhao Wenshui's legs trembled. His urine dripped down his pants and onto the floor. The other people in the room were speechless when they saw this. This was the first time they saw such a cowardly person. A grown man was actually scared to the point of peeing his pants. If this news spread, they would probably laugh their heads off. Li Chuiying looked at her man and the disgust in her heart grew stronger. She couldn't find a single good point in Zhao Wenshui. It was fine that he was difficult to do before, but now he didn't dare to admit what he did. He was willing to pay 15 taels of silver for his cheap life. How would she and Zhao Tianyu live in the future? They spent all their money and didn't have any income. Were they going to eat dirt in the future? Li Chuiying glared hatefully at Zhao Wenshui. Tian was making too much of a fuss, so she couldn't say anything even if she wanted to. Zhao Wenshui wanted to chop Zhao Wenshui with the knife in his hand. He waved the knife in his hand and shouted, "You bastard, if I don't chop you to death today, I'll be letting the heavens down." Feng Zhangxia hurriedly pulled Zhao Wenshui back. "Tianlong's father, calm down. Otherwise you'll really hurt second brother. Let's just teach him a lesson. If he gets hurt too badly, it won't be good if someone dies. If someone dies, Zhao Wenshui might even be sued." It wasn't worth it for Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Baoshan also hurriedly came forward to persuade him. "Boss, this matter is indeed wrong. But let's calm down and think of a way to punish him. Don't really use a knife." Zhao Wenshui's face was red as he said, "How can we calm down? He's worse than a beast and only knows how to do such dirty things. He even dares to lay his hands on his own sister-in-law. I think his thing down there is itching. If you don't want him to die, you have to chop it off." The fear in Zhao Wenshui's eyes deepened when he heard that Zhao Wenshui was going to deal with his family jewels. "Big brother, please spare me. If I lose my manhood, will I still be a man in the future? This is worse than taking my life." Zhao Wenshui complained with tears and snot. He almost knelt in front of Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui scolded with a cold face, "You know it too. In my opinion, it's better if you lose your manhood. Let's see how you're going to defile people in the future, you shameless thing." "Boss, your brothers. Speak properly and calm down. Second brother did something wrong. I'll definitely make him give you an explanation. But don't destroy his family jewels. After all, he's old Zhao's grandson." Zhao Baoshan persuaded again. Zhao Wenshui was still unwilling to let Zhao Wenshui go. Without Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Baoshan's protection, the kitchen knife in his hand would have fallen on Zhao Wenshui's body. "Dad, Sky Dragon's mother, don't stop me. Let me teach him a lesson." Sky Dragon's father put the knife down. "It doesn't matter how much money you want. It's too dangerous for you to hold a knife in your hand." Feng Zhangxia urged anxiously. Zhao Wenshui had no choice but to throw the kitchen knife in his hand at Zhao Wenshui. If Zhao Wenshui hadn't dodged quickly, his head would have been split in half. Chapter 1966. However, he was so scared that he sat on the ground and couldn't move at all. The other people in the room were also quite frightened, secretly rejoicing that the knife hadn't landed on Zhao Wenshui's body. If a life had really been involved in this matter, it wouldn't have been possible to hide it even if they wanted to. Old Zhao's family would definitely become the laughing stock of the entire village, as well as the several nearby towns. Sky Dragon's father, alright, don't be too impulsive. Although second brother went overboard, you didn't do anything. Now that you've agreed to compensate our family with 15 taels of silver, you just need to give him a few more punches. I believe he'll remember this. Feng Zhangxia pulled Zhao Wenshi and kept winking at Zhao Wenshi. Zhao Wenshi calmed down when he heard that Zhao Wenshui was willing to compensate them with 15 taels of silver. After snorting a few times, he went to Zhao Wenshui and kicked Zhao Wenshui a few times. Zhao Wenshui felt pain again. Zhao Wenshi grabbed Zhao Wenshui's collar and asked, "Where's the silver? Quickly take out the silver or I won't let you off." Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, "Big brother, let me go. I'll go get it. I'll go get it for you." Zhao Wenshi let go of his hand, but his face was still sullen. Zhao Wenshui was paralyzed on the ground. He wanted to get up, but his legs were so weak that they were trembling. It was difficult for him to even stand up. Seeing that Zhao Wenshui was still dawdling on the ground, Zhao Wenshi kicked him a few more times. "Why are you still dawdling? Hurry up and get out of here. You'll only be happy if I teach you a lesson, right?" Zhao Wenshui said with a bitter face, "Big brother, I want to get up, but my legs are so weak that I can't stand properly. I can't get up at all. I think you need to be taught a lesson. You don't want to pay the 15 taels of silver, do you?" Zhao Wenshui hurriedly waved his hand. No, of course not. If I can stand up, I'll definitely give it to you." Zhao Wenshi urged him with a cold face. "Then hurry up and get up. Don't force me to beat you up." Zhao Wenshui tried to prop himself up and found it difficult to get up. He had no choice but to order Li Chuanying, who was at the side. "I say, stinky woman, seeing that I can't get up, you don't know how to give big brother 15 taels of silver?" Li Chuanying already had a grudge against Zhao Wenshui. Now that Zhao Wenshui ordered her to work, how could she respond? Zhao Wenshui replied unhappily, "Why should I take it for you? I haven't even settled the score with you yet, but you're already so fierce to me. Zhao Wenshui, I'm not your slave. I'm usually ordered around by you like a dog. Now that you've done something wrong to me, would I still treat you the same as before? I'm not a fool. I won't let you order me around. You want me to do something for you? Let me tell you, no way." In the past, Li Chuanying would never dare to treat Zhao Wenshui like this. Basically, Li Chuanying would try her best to do the work that Zhao Wenshui ordered her to do. Now, in front of these people, this stinky woman dared to refute him and make him lose face. He was really angry. Zhao Wenshui was trying to make his presence known in front of Li Chuanying, but Zhao Wenshui kicked him again. "Take it yourself. Why do you expect others to do it for you? If you don't give it to me, I'll chop off your legs. Let's see if you need to get up." Chapter 1967. Then he took out 15 taels of silver from the cabinet and handed it to Zhao Wenshi. "Big brother, here you are. You can count it. It's not a single tael less." Zhao Wenshi snatched the silver from Zhao Wenshui's hand and counted it. After confirming that it was 15 taels, he let Zhao Wenshui go. But before he let Zhao Wenshui go, he warned him coldly, "If I find out that you have any ideas about your sister-in-law next time, I'll teach you a good lesson. At that time, it won't be just 15 taels of silver." Zhao Wenshui hurriedly raised his hand and swore, "Big brother, I won't do it again. I really won't do it again. There won't be a next time." Seeing Zhao Wenshui's wretched appearance, Zhao Wenshi couldn't help but kick him again. Then he took the silver and pulled Feng Zhangxia's hand, saying, "Let's go, Qianlong's mother. Let's go back to our room." Feng Zhangxia agreed. Now that something like this had happened, she had to avoid it. She couldn't stay with Zhao Wenshui anymore. After seeing Zhao Wenshi leave, Zhao Wenshui heaved a sigh of relief, thinking that this matter was over. After all, if Zhao Wenshi didn't cause trouble for him, no one else could do anything to him. However, Li Chuanying suddenly knelt down in front of Zhao Baoshan. Zhao Baoshan hurriedly asked, "Second daughter-in-law, what are you doing?" Li Chuanying choked with sobs, "Father, you've made a decision for sister-in-law. Now you have to make a decision for me, right? How can this heartless thing do such a dirty thing to me? How can he be worthy of me?" Zhao Baoshan frowned. He knew that Li Chuanying was telling the truth. Zhao Wenshui did such a thing. Besides letting down Feng Zhangxia, he let down Li Chuanying the most. Loyalty was important between husband and wife, but Zhao Wenshui betrayed his wife time and time again. Li Chuanying must be very sad and disappointed that her man betrayed her. Zhao Baoshan was afraid that the second branch of the family would not be able to continue living like this. It had taken a lot of effort to bring Li Chuanying back from her parents' home. She thought that her second brother would stop after this, but who would have thought that he still didn't know how to cherish her? If she forced Li Chuanying back to her parents' home again, it would be impossible to bring Li Chuanying back. How was the second branch going to survive without a woman? During the time when Li Chuanying was not around, the second son shamelessly followed the old couple to live together. They were already so old, yet they still had to take care of their son. Zhao Baoshan did not want to do it a second time. In addition, if this matter was not handled well, Li Chuanying would expose Zhao Wenshui's molestation of his eldest sister-in-law. Which woman would be willing to marry Zhao Wenshui in the future? They couldn't let Zhao Wenshui become a burden to old Zhao's family, right? It was necessary to appease Li Chuanying. After thinking about it, Zhao Baoshan said to Li Chuanying, "Second brother's wife, don't worry. I will definitely give you justice. Tell me how you want to deal with this matter. As long as you vent your anger, you can deal with that brat in any way." Li Chuanying wiped away her tears and said, "Father, I don't want to do anything to him. Since you are upholding justice for me today, if you still care about the friendship between us, help me make a decision. I want to divorce Zhao Wenshui." It was not easy for a woman from the countryside to make this decision. After all, a woman who divorced would be despised by others. When she returned to her parents' home, she would be criticized even more. Chapter 1968. Li Chuanying made this decision because she was too disappointed in Zhao Wenshui. She didn't want to force herself to be with Zhao Wenshui and make herself suffer. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to see the end of the next few decades. Now that her daughter was married and her son was still young, she knew that if she really left, old Zhao's family wouldn't mistreat their grandson. She wanted to live for herself for the rest of her life and let herself be happy. She didn't want to be like this, serving a man every day like he was her ancestor. This man was still heartless. No matter how well she treated him, he didn't care. He was an ungrateful wretch. After hearing Li Chuanying's words, Qian Zhonghu and Zhao Baoshan were stunned. They didn't expect Li Chuanying to make such a decision. Qian Zhonghu didn't try to persuade or oppose. She understood how Li Chuanying felt. If she met a man like Zhao Wenshui, she might make the same decision. Although it was advising them to reconcile and not divorce, it depended on the situation. She felt sorry for her second sister-in-law. She wanted Li Chuanying to live the rest of her life without being wronged like today. It would be best if they divorced. Zhao Baoshan knew the stakes and hurriedly tried to persuade her. "Second brother's wife, second brother really let you down this time. I can help you beat him until he's satisfied. I'll discipline him well in the future. Can you forgive him this time? Don't divorce. We're still a family." However, Li Chuanying insisted, "Father, you know that I've given him many chances. I really don't want to give him any more this time. Regardless of whether you agree or not, I want to separate from Zhao Wenshui. If you don't uphold justice for me, then I'll go talk to Li Zheng." If Li Chuanying really went to look for him after such a thing happened, Li Zheng would definitely agree to her divorce. However, if he talked to Li Zheng, wouldn't the whole village know about Zhao Wenshui's scandal? How would old Zhao's family face others in the future? Before Zhao Baoshan could continue to persuade him, Zhao Wenshui became angry. He scolded Li Chuanying, "You you want to divorce me? What's the benefit of staying away from there? With your looks, do you think you can marry another man?" Li Chuanying smiled bitterly and retorted Zhao Wenshui, "Why should I remarry after my divorce? As long as I'm not with you, it's fine. Even if I die alone, it has nothing to do with you." Zhao Wenshui was instantly enraged. He waved his fist and punched Li Chuanying. "You bitch, if you dare to divorce me, I'll kill you." Seeing Zhao Wenshui like this, Li Chuanying's heart turned even colder. Normally, he knew how to be fierce to her, but in front of others he was a coward, not even daring to let out a fart. Just like just now, he was so scared that he peed his pants. Chen Zholi also felt that Zhao Wenshui was too much. As a man, he did not behave like a man at all. What was the point of bullying the weak? Chen Zholi quickly pulled Zhao Wenshui back and shouted, "Second brother, what are you doing? Aren't you going overboard? You're the one who let second sister-in-law down. Even if she wants a divorce, it's only right. What right do you have to hit her? What right do you have to hit her?" Zhao Baoshan's face also darkened. He kicked Zhao Wenshui's body and cursed, "Shameless thing, if you dare to make a move, do you believe that I won't chop off your hands?" Chapter 1969. Zhao Wenshui glanced at Li Chuang with some bitterness and replied pitifully, Dad, I'm only acting like this because I can't stand seeing that this B*Tish wants to divorce me. Listen to her. Listen to what she's saying. Our Zhao family has given her a lot of food for so many years. Now she wants to divorce? Although Zhao Wenshui didn't like Li Chuang that much, he didn't want to divorce Li Chuang. This was because Zhao Wenshui knew that if he divorced Li Chuang, there would be no one to take care of him. In the future he wouldn't be able to sit at home with his legs crossed and eat and drink like he was now. In order to have someone to take care of him in the future, he absolutely couldn't agree. Zhao Baoshan rolled his eyes at Zhao Wenshui and almost cried at Zhao Wenshui's stupidity. At this time he didn't know how to say nice things and coax Li Chuang to stay, but he knew how to be fierce. Who was he being fierce to? Didn't he know that the more he treated Li Chuang like this, the more determined Li Chuang would be to leave? Now, even if he wanted to get involved and persuade Li Chuang would probably ignore him. Zhao Baoshan sighed in his heart. He didn't know what would happen next. You bastard, shut up. If you say one more word, I'll really hit you. Only then did Zhao Wenshui shut his mouth. He glanced at Zhao Baoshan and then at Li Chuang. He wanted to say something but he could only swallow it back into his stomach. He couldn't say it out loud. Zhao Baoshan looked at Li Chuang and tried to persuade her gently, Second daughter-in-law, I know you've been wronged. Can you reconsider? Divorce is not good for the child. I hope we can still be a family. Li Chuang replied resolutely, Father, don't say anything. It's useless no matter what you say. Zhao Wenshui and I can't live together anymore, so I want a divorce. If you really care about me, please allow it. I'll definitely be grateful to you in the future. I won't forget where I can be filial to my parents. Even if I'm not old Zhao's daughter-in-law, I'll still treat you as my in-laws. Zhao Baoshan saw the determination on Li Chuang's face. There was no turning back now. He wanted to make up for it, but Li Chuang's heart had been hurt so much that it was useless even if he wanted to. Qian Zhurong looked at her second sister-in-law with heartache. Perhaps a divorce was the best choice for Li Chuang. She hoped that her second sister-in-law would not have to suffer so much. She also hoped that her second sister-in-law would find another man in the future and not someone like Zhao Wenshui. Father, just agree to it. We're a family. Don't hurt our feelings. Zhao Baoshan's expression became serious. He knew that it was useless to disagree. If his second daughter-in-law went to Li Zheng, she could still divorce him. Therefore, the scandal in the family would spread. It was better to agree now. At least it would save some face for old Zhao and prevent them from being laughed at by the villagers. Since that's the case, we're not fated to be a family. Second daughter-in-law, I won't force you. I'll make the decision now. You and second brother will divorce. Go to Li Zheng's place and ask him to write a divorce agreement. You and second brother just need to put your fingerprints on it. In the future, when you're not in old Zhao's house, take care of yourself. Zhao Baoshan said with a pained expression. Chapter 1970. Zhao Baoshan said gently, all right. Get up. My legs hurt from kneeling on the ground. Second sister-in-law, get up. Qian Zhozha walked over to Li Chuang and helped Li Chuang up from the ground. Li Chuang got up from the ground, and she suddenly felt a sense of relief that she had never felt before. Perhaps from this moment on, she would be free and would never have to face a man like Zhao Wenshui again. In the future, all she had to do was take good care of herself. There was no need to be sullen or angry. Zhao Wenshui anxiously questioned Zhao Baoshan, Father, why did you agree to the divorce? Have you become muddle-headed? What will happen to me if we divorce? Who will cook and wash my clothes in the future? I'm a grown man and I can't do such chores. Zhao Baoshan was angered by Zhao Wenshui and scolded Zhao Wenshui, You bastard! How dare you say that I'm old and muddle-headed? Weren't you the one who caused this situation today? If it weren't for these bastards, would your wife have proposed to divorce you? Zhao Wenshui felt wronged and said, But father, you can't just agree like that. If you agree to the divorce between you and her, are you saying that you and mother will take care of me in the future? Zhao Baoshan snorted coldly and scolded, You bastard, what nonsense are you spouting? You're already an adult, and you still have the nerve to ask your mother and me to take care of you? Do you think that you can't divorce just because I don't agree? If the village chief decides, aren't you afraid that you'll embarrass yourself and be too ashamed to stay in the village? Upon hearing Zhao Baoshan's words, Zhao Wenshui's face suddenly fell, and his heart was filled with anxiety. Father, do I really want a divorce? Zhao Baoshan glared at Zhao Wenshui and said, Why are you asking me whether we're going to divorce or not? Don't you know to ask your wife? If you had a little bit of conscience and said a few soft words, would this have happened? At the thought of the divorce, Zhao Wenshui immediately flinched and was very worried. He had already lived a life without Li Chuanying, and he didn't want to go through that again. She felt remorseful and quickly apologized to Li Chuanying. "Tianyu's mother, it's all my fault. Can you forgive me this once? I promise I won't do it again and I'll definitely treat you well. Let's not divorce, okay?" Li Chuanying didn't say anything. He didn't even look at Zhao Wenshui. Instead, he turned to Zhao Baoshan and said, "Dad, let's go to Li Zheng's place now." Zhao Wenshui quickly grabbed Li Chuanying's sleeve. "Tianyu's mother, don't go. Tianyu's mother, I beg you." Li Chuanying pulled his sleeves and said coldly, "Let go of me." "Tianyu's mother, Zhao Wenshui, I told you to let go of me. Did you hear me?" Li Chuanying's face was gloomy. "Second brother, if you knew this would happen, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. What's the use of trying to persuade her to stay now? Second sister-in-law has already given up on you. Since you're not fated to be together anymore, let's just leave each other alone and leave each other some dignity. Even if you keep forcing second sister-in-law to stay today, she'll make a fuss about the divorce in a few days. Why don't you just end it now?" Zhao Wenshui couldn't bear to do that. If he didn't persuade her to stay now, it would be too late when Li Chuanying returned to her parents' home. Zhao Baoshan also said, "Baoshan, don't stop them. Let's go to Li Zheng's house and sign the divorce papers." Dad. Chapter 1971. Unable to defy Zhao Baoshan's authority, Zhao Wenshui had no choice but to follow Zhao Baoshan out of the house. No matter how unwilling he was, no one would help him at this time. Everyone was even on Li Chuanying's side. Could it be that she was really going to divorce him today? Zhao Baoshan's face was full of worry. For a moment he didn't know what to do. When they walked out of the house, Hu Chunhua heard the commotion and came out to take a look. She had been waiting on Zhao Xinhui in the house and didn't have time to come out. She took the time to take a look. As soon as she came out, she saw them walking out of the courtyard. She hurriedly chased after them and asked, "What's the matter with you? Where are you going?" They all looked sullen and didn't speak. Hu Chunhua suddenly became anxious. "What's the matter? What's the matter? Why aren't you saying anything? What are you all doing?" Zhao Baoshan said, "We're going to Li Zheng's house." "Why are we going to Li Zheng's house? Divorce? Second brother and his second daughter-in-law are divorcing." Zhao Baoshan replied calmly. Hu Chunhua instantly exploded. "What? Divorce? Old man, you're not confused, are you? Why are you letting second brother and his second daughter-in-law divorce? Why are you making such a fuss?" Zhao Baoshan snorted coldly. "How am I supposed to answer you with so many questions at once? When we come back, you can ask your precious son what he has done." Zhao Baoshan said and beckoned Zhao Wenshui and Li Chuanying to continue on their way to Li Zheng's house. Hu Chunhua raised her voice and made a fuss. "Old man, don't be silly. What are you going to do? What's the point of divorcing second brother and his wife? With second brother's character, do you think he can find another wife after divorcing?" Zhao Baoshan reprimanded in a deep voice. "If you don't think it's embarrassing and aren't afraid of our old Zhao family being laughed at, you can continue shouting." Hu Chunhua was intimidated by Zhao Baoshan's expression, so she shut up resentfully. "Why aren't you saying anything? It's so confusing." Hu Chunhua couldn't help complaining. Even though she couldn't ask, Hu Chunhua couldn't suppress her curiosity. She followed Zhao Baoshan and headed to Li Zheng's house. After arriving at Li Zheng's house, Zhao Baoshan explained everything. Originally, Li Zheng wanted to persuade them to reconcile, but he saw that the Zhao family's attitude was strange. Even his father-in-law and sister-in-law supported the divorce. Moreover, Li Chuanying was also determined to get a divorce. He guessed that there was something that was hard to say. Since it was their family matter, it wasn't appropriate for him to ask too much. Thus, he wrote the divorce papers and had them put their fingerprints on them. One copy was given to each of them and the other copy was given to him for safekeeping. After receiving Li Zheng's divorce papers, Li Chuanying heaved a heavy sigh of relief. This time he was truly free. With the divorce papers in hand, he would have nothing to do with Zhao Wenshui from now on. From now on she might be able to live a new life. On the way back, Hu Chunhua was extremely anxious and kept muttering to herself. Zhao Baoshan was so annoyed that he finally explained everything to Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua didn't expect that Zhao Wenshui would actually do such a thing. She originally wanted to blame Li Chuanying, but now that she knew the reason, she didn't have the nerve to blame Li Chuanying. As long as one wasn't an idiot, they would be able to tell who was at fault. Chapter 1972. Hua Chuanhua's black claws scratched Zhao Wenshui's body. You bastard, who told you to do these things? Let's see what you'll do after you divorce. Your father and I won't care about you. You brat, it's good enough that we raised you. Don't blame your father and me. Zhao Wenshui felt a burst of pain and saw that there was a red mark on his arm. He frowned and replied, Mother, it hurts so much. Why are you so ruthless to me? Be gentle, be gentle. My flesh will be torn off by you. Hua Chunhua muttered, You brat, you deserve to die. You don't even care about your face. Why do you still want your flesh? Mother? Okay, I won't care about you anyway. Whether you live or die has nothing to do with me. I have to say it up front. If you don't have food, don't come to me. I won't cook for you like before. Hua Chunhua made up her mind to not care about Zhao Wenshui anymore. Last time, after Li Chuiying left, she almost couldn't support herself by taking care of the food for several people. After all, she was old and her legs were weak. How could she do so much? Mother, if you don't cook for me, what will I eat? What will Tianyu eat? Do you have the heart to watch us father and son starve to death? Zhao Wenshui began to play the sympathy card. If he didn't hug Hua Chunhua's thigh now, he would really be finished. Hua Chunhua said coldly, So what? It has nothing to do with me. Anyway, I won't care about your life or death. After that, Hua Chunhua was very angry. She ignored Zhao Wenshui and went back to the yard angrily. After Li Chunying returned to her hometown, she went to the second branch's yard and began to pack her luggage. She didn't have many things, only some shabby clothes which were not worth much at all. Zhao Jinger still had a lot of betrothal gifts left, which added up to 25 taels. Li Chuiying didn't care about the other good things. In order to get a divorce, Li Chuiying had made some concessions on the distribution of the Li family's assets. As long as she could divorce Zhao Wenshui, so what if she lost a few things? She only asked for 10 taels of silver and gave the rest to Zhao Wenshui. After packing up, Li Chuiying prepared to leave. Second sister-in-law? Qian Zhurong walked into the house and held Li Chunying's hand reluctantly. Since Li Chuiying's temperament had improved, the relationship between the two sisters-in-law had gradually deepened. Li Chuiying's sudden departure naturally made Qian Zhuzhe reluctant. After Li Chuiying left, he had one less person to talk to in old Zhao's house. Fourth sister-in-law. Li Chunying also reluctantly held Qian Zhuzhe's hand and said, Fourth sister-in-law, I have no choice but to leave. You should know me. Yes. Qian Zhuzhe nodded heavily, I understand you. Second sister-in-law, since you're leaving, take care of yourself in the future. I hope you can take good care of yourself. Yes, yes. Fourth sister-in-law, you too. Take good care of yourself. If there's a chance, I'll come and see you. Okay. Qian Zhuzhe's eyes suddenly turned red. She sniffled and hurriedly wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes with her sleeve. I hope second sister-in-law can find a good man in the future, one who will cherish you. Live happily for the rest of your life. Qian Zhuzhe said sincerely. Now that they were divorced, Li Chuiying's new life would begin. Everything was not impossible. Chapter 1973. Qian Zhui sighed, Second sister-in-law, don't talk nonsense. How can you live without a man at home these days? Once you return to your parents' home, you can look for a good man. There are many good men these days. I believe you can find one. Li Chunying did not refute Qian Zhui's words. Anyway, she did not have any thoughts about men now. Instead of serving others like she served Zhao Wenshui, she would rather live alone. It would be more comfortable. In any case, she had 10 taels of silver now. As long as she worked hard, had hands and feet, and was diligent, she would be able to survive. Fourth sister-in-law, sigh, let's not talk so much. I'm going to say goodbye to third sister-in-law. I'll leave in a while. She did not want to stay at old Zhao's house for a moment longer. She was close to the third branch and thought that Sanfeng had helped her a lot. After leaving old Zhao's house, she did not know when she would come back, so she had to say goodbye before leaving. Qian Zhui nodded, Second sister-in-law, I'll go with you. As the two sisters-in-law spoke, they left old Zhao's courtyard. Zhao Tianyu suddenly returned. Zhao Tianyu was not at home when the commotion happened. The child was more playful and had run out to play until now. When he saw Li Chuiying, he shouted at Li Chuiying, Mother, I'm hungry. I want to eat. Is the food ready? Li Chuiying's expression did not look good. Men were bad. Her son was becoming more and more like Zhao Wenshui after being spoiled by her. He had never cared for her and was the same as Zhao Wenshui. He only knew how to ask for things from her and served her like a little ancestor. Did she owe this father and son something in her previous life? There's no food. If you're hungry, go to your father. Li Chuanying replied indifferently. Zhao Tianyu's brows knitted together, his face full of reluctance. Chen Jue explained, Tianyu, your mother is leaving. If you want food, you can only ask your father. Where can I go? To your maternal grandmother's house. When will you be back? I'm not coming back. Zhao Tianyu stared at Li Chuanying, but he didn't say anything. Instead, he turned around and went to find Zhao Wenxue. Father, my mother said that if I want to eat in the future, I can ask you for it. I'm hungry now. Where's the food? Where is the food? Zhao Wenxue looked at his precious son with a bitter face as he faced Zhao Tianyu. He didn't even have anything to eat, so how was he going to get food for Zhao Tianyu? Tianyu, your father and mother are angry. Go and persuade your mother not to leave. Father doesn't know how to cook, so how can I make food for you in the future? Zhao Wenxue coaxed Zhao Tianyu. After all, Zhao Tianyu was Li Chuanying's son. For the sake of his son, Li Chuanying might be soft-hearted and stay. That way he wouldn't lose his wife. However, Zhao Tianyu was unhappy. Father, why should I persuade her? If she wants to leave, so be it. What's the point of keeping her? After hearing Zhao Tianyu's words, Li Chuanying's hurt heart became even colder. Zhao Wenxue slapped Zhao Tianyu's head. You brat, what nonsense are you talking about? She's your mother. What good will it do you if she leaves? Zhao Tianyu cried in pain. Sob, sob, sob. Father, you're a bad person. Chapter 1974. Zhao Tianyu cried and complained, she left in the first place. Why do you have to stop her? Zhao Wenxue was very angry. Your mother will never come back after she leaves. I'll see who will cook for you and who will serve you. Zhao Tianyu replied unhappily, Dad, didn't Mom do the same last time? She left and stayed at Grandma's house for a few days before she came back obediently. This time it will be the same. She will come back anyway. Why do you still need me to persuade her? After all, he was a child and didn't understand the meaning of divorce. He thought that it was just a quarrel as usual. Zhao Wenxue couldn't explain it. Li Chuanying ignored the father and son. They could do whatever they wanted in the future. Anyway, it had nothing to do with her. After a while, Qin Zhonghu and Li Chuanying arrived at Zhao Yun'er's house. Zhao Yun'er's family was shocked when they heard the news of Li Chuanying's divorce. So many things had happened when Li Chuanying had just returned from her house. Now she had even signed the divorce papers and said goodbye to them. Zhao Yun'er's family had the same opinion about Li Chuanying's divorce. They stood on Li Chuanying's side. After all, Zhao Wenxue had gone too far. Most people wouldn't be able to accept it. Li Chuanying had suffered a lot during this period. Since she had to live in pain, it was better to divorce early and start a new life. As for Zhao Yun'er, she had been hoping that Li Chuanying would come to her senses and leave Zhao Wenshue's side for a long time. Now it had come true. Second sister-in-law, although second brother is our biological brother, we know his character and we support you. Take good care of yourself after you leave. We will have fewer chances to see each other in the future. If you have time, I hope you can come back to see us and the child. Liang Jinxiao held Li Chuanying's hand and said. Li Chuanying replied with a choked voice, okay. Third sister-in-law, fourth sister-in-law, thank you. It's so good to have sisters-in-law like you. Even if she divorced, these people didn't defend Zhao Wenxue. Instead, they stood on her side. She would remember this friendship in her heart. After a few words, Li Chuanying got up and said goodbye. There was no point in delaying it. There was still some distance to go back to her Nyang'er's home. The sooner she went back, the sooner she could complain to her family. The third branch didn't try to persuade her to stay. They knew Li Chuanying's mood at the moment. Going back to her parents' home was her only support now. Looking at Li Chuanying's departing figure, the people of the third branch sighed in their hearts. Zhao Yun'er sincerely wished Li Chuanying a happy life. For Li Chuanying, a divorce was definitely a new lease of life. But Zhao Yun'er was very curious. What would this disgusting man do in the future? Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua would definitely have a headache because of the second branch. In the afternoon when the sun was still up, it was very strong. Li Chuanying was panting after walking for a while. She couldn't walk anymore. She saw a big tree on the side and leaned against it to rest. She wanted to rest and recover before continuing. The leaves blocked most of the sunlight, so it was still cool under the tree's shade. Unfortunately, she left in a hurry and didn't bring any water with her. She was so thirsty that her throat felt like it was smoking. She wanted to drink more water to quench her thirst. But this place was in the middle of nowhere. How could there be water to drink? Li Chuanying felt a little hopeless when she thought about how long she still had to walk. I'm so thirsty. Chapter 1975. Just when he was in despair, he suddenly saw a man coming from afar. The man was pulling a handcart with some goods on it. Because the sun was very hot and he was pulling so many things, the man's head was so hot that many beads of sweat flowed out. Li Chuanying found that he actually knew this man. He was Zhao Ping, a bachelor from Shuilan village. Zhao Ping pulled the handcart to the shade of the tree where Li Chuanying rested. He also rested for a while. After such a long walk, although he was a man, he still couldn't stand it. After resting and chatting for a while, they continued their journey. Li Chuanying was too embarrassed to greet Zhao Ping. When Zhao Ping saw Li Chuanying resting in the shade of the tree, he smiled and greeted Li Chuanying. Sister-in-law, I didn't expect to see you here. Seeing the honest smile on Zhao Ping's face, Li Chuanying smiled embarrassedly. Yes, what a coincidence. I didn't expect to meet you, brother Zhao. Sister-in-law, where are you going? Back to my mother's home. Li Chuanying replied. Zhao Ping responded and then asked curiously, is your mother's home in the Li village? Yes, it's in the Li village. Why do you ask? Zhao Ping smiled innocently again. I'm going to help someone deliver something to the Li village. If you don't mind, can we go together? Zhao Ping was a bachelor. His family didn't have any fields, so he usually did some rough work nearby. Today he was helping a family in the village deliver something to the Li village. He could earn 20 copper coins for this trip. It wasn't much, but it didn't take long. He just needed to help. Anyway, he had nothing to do at home. After saying that, Zhao Ping realized that he said something wrong. He said embarrassedly, Sister-in-law, I'm sorry to offend you. If you're afraid of being seen and gossiped, you don't have to accompany me. I just think it's a long journey. We can talk on the way and kill time. Seeing Zhao Ping's kindness, Li Chuanying said, then let's go together. If others see us, they can talk about us. I'm divorced anyway. I don't care about my reputation. Upon hearing Li Chuanying's words, Zhao Ping's eyes were filled with shock. Sister-in-law, are you joking? You divorced brother Wenshui? Yes. Li Chuanying replied, I just got divorced today, so I'm rushing back to my parents' home. Zhao Ping didn't know what to say for a while. After all, he was just an outsider. He couldn't get involved in the couple's business, let alone ask them why they divorced. Since he had made such a big decision, he definitely had his own reasons. Sister-in-law, then you should live your life well in the future. Actually, it's okay to live alone. I've been living alone for so many years. Zhao Ping was silent for a few seconds before he said. Li Chuanying pursed his lips and chuckled. That's right. There's no one in this world who can't live without someone. I also hope that I can live a good life in the future. The two of them exchanged a few words before Zhao Ping took out a water bag from the handcart. The things they carried along the way were heavy and it was very hot. Zhao Ping knew that they would be thirsty, so he brought more water. Li Chuansui was a little excited when she saw this. She wanted to ask Zhao Ping for water, but she was embarrassed. Chapter 1976. After he finished drinking, he saw Li Chuanying looking at him. To be exact, she was staring at the water bag in his hand. Li Chuanying didn't seem to have brought any water. After walking for so long, she was probably as thirsty as he was. Unfortunately, he had been drinking from the water bag. Zhao Ping didn't know if Li Chuanying would mind. After thinking for a moment, Zhao Ping took the water bag in his hand and handed it to Li Chuanying. He asked Li Chuanying, Sister-in-law, do you want some water too? Li Chuanying was embarrassed to accept it, but she was really thirsty. If she didn't drink any water now, she was afraid that her lips would crack. Li Chuanying put down her pride and reached out to take the water bag. Brother Zhao, thank you. I'm dying of thirst. Luckily, I have your water. Li Chuanying said gratefully. Then she took the water bag and gulped it down like Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping stared at Li Chuanying as she drank. He saw that Li Chuanying was drinking from the water bag like him. Didn't this mean that the two of them were indirectly kissing? Zhao Ping's ears turned red for a moment. He didn't dare to look at Li Chuanying again. He hadn't married for so many years, so he was very shy in front of this woman. After resting for a while, the two of them got up and prepared to set off. They chatted along the way. They felt that it was much better than traveling alone. With a companion, they didn't feel so tired. However, as Li Chuanying walked, she accidentally tripped over a stone in front of her and fell to the ground. At the same time, his ankle was heavily twisted, and an intense pain spread throughout his body. Cold sweat broke out on Li Chuanying's forehead as she muttered, Zhao Ping hurriedly put down the handcart in his hand. He squatted down and asked Li Chuang, "Sister-in-law, how are you? Are you okay?" "I think I sprained my ankle," Li Chuang replied with some difficulty. He was in so much pain that even speaking was difficult. Zhao Ping frowned and said to Li Chuang, "Sister-in-law, you've sprained your ankle. Do you want me to massage it for you? Would that be better?" Li Chuang hurriedly waved his hand and refused. In ancient times, how could a woman's body be casually seen by a man, let alone be casually touched by a man? Especially his feet. Zhao Ping asked because he was too worried about Li Chuang's condition. He didn't think too much about it. "It's all right, big brother Zhao." Zhao Ping could only feel anxious, but there was nothing he could do to help. It was obvious that Li Chuang was in great pain. Now he definitely couldn't leave. "Sister-in-law, can you stand up?" Zhao Ping asked with concern. Li Chuang tried and found that the slightest movement would cause her to gasp in pain. "I don't think so. I don't think I can leave. Big brother Zhao, why don't you leave first? When you reach Li village, you can send a message to my family and ask them to come and pick me up." Zhao Ping didn't agree. He thought that it would be dangerous for Li Chuang to sit alone on the road. Moreover, it was so hot now. How could he be at ease leaving Li Chuang alone? Zhao Ping thought for a moment and said to Li Chuang, "Sister-in-law, why don't you sit in my handcart? I'll take you to Li village and then send you back. That way you don't have to wait. Otherwise, I don't know when your family will come and pick you up." Chapter 1977. She and Zhao Wenshui were not relatives. Moreover, she was divorced from Zhao Wenshui and had nothing to do with old Zhao's family. How could she trouble Zhao Ping? Li Chuang replied, "Brother Zhao, I appreciate your kindness, but it's not easy for you to pull the goods. Don't add me to your burden." Zhao Ping waved his hand and said, "Sister-in-law, don't be so polite with me. You're not that heavy. I won't be tired if I pull you on the handcart." "Brother Zhao, it's really not necessary. Sigh, sister-in-law, I don't feel safe leaving you alone in this remote place. Please don't refuse. I'll just rest for a while if I'm tired. It's better than waiting for someone to come." "But, sister-in-law, let me help you onto the handcart." Li Chuang could not resist Zhao Ping's enthusiasm and nodded in agreement. She sat on the handcart. There was a bag of goods under it. It seemed to be a bag of cotton, so it was soft and did not jolt much. Zhao Ping pulled the handcart in front and walked towards Li village. Perhaps it was because it was too hot. Zhao Ping sweated a lot and his back was soaked. Seeing how hot it was, Zhao Ping rolled up his sleeves and exposed his strong muscles to the air. Li Chuang sat behind the handcart and could not help but stare. He glanced at Zhao Ping's arms. Men who worked often were strong and muscular, much better than Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui didn't work on a daily basis, and his body had already grown fat. His body was full of fat and he didn't have Zhao Ping's strength. Li Chuang stared at Zhao Ping's muscles for a long time. When he came back to his senses, Zhao Ping had stopped. Looking into Zhao Ping's deep eyes, Li Chuang felt a little embarrassed. "Brother Zhao, are you tired?" Li Chuang asked. "I'm fine. Let's take a break first. It's very hot." Li Chuang quickly took out the handkerchief in his hand and handed it to Zhao Ping. He said to Zhao Ping, "Brother Zhao, take this handkerchief and wipe your sweat." Zhao Ping hurriedly waved his hand and refused. "Sister-in-law, no need, no need. How can I dirty your handkerchief? I'll just wipe it with my clothes." Zhao Ping said as he wiped his face with his sleeve. The sweat was wiped away, but the sleeve was soaked with sweat. Seeing this, Li Chuang felt even more embarrassed to let Zhao Ping drag him back to the village. Zhao Ping was so tired that he sweated so much. "Sister-in-law, you've rested enough. Let's continue our journey. We have to get to Li's village as soon as possible so that your family can rub your feet for you. If your foot is injured, you have to pay attention to it. Otherwise, it won't be good if you get a chronic disease." Li Chuang was touched when he heard the concern in Zhao Ping's words. A strange man could treat her like this, but the man at home who had shared a bed with her for more than 10 years had a very bad attitude towards her, and had done so many things to her. It was true that good men could not find wives, but those scumbags could find women. It was really unfair. If Zhao Wenshui could be half as good as Zhao Ping, perhaps she would not have thought of divorce. The two of them continued their journey and finally arrived at Li's village. Li Chuang was also sent back to her parents' home. Li Chuang thanked Zhao Ping and did not ask him to stay. He knew that Zhao Ping had to hurry back and would not take long. Chapter 1978. I think Zhao Wenshui is bullying us because we don't have enough people in the Li family, right? He didn't even remember what we said last time, and now he's doing this again. We have to find him and have a good talk with him. Let's see if he dares to do this again in the future, said Li Chuanying's eldest brother. Li Chuanying's second brother also agreed. That's right. Our Li family is considered a respectable family in the village. We can't be bullied so casually. What he did not only bullied our sister but also looked down on our Li family. Our warning didn't work, so he should have a taste of his fist. The two brothers were furious and said that they would seek justice for Li Chuanying. Seeing that her two brothers were defending her, Li Chuanying was very touched. She also wanted to teach Zhao Wenshui a lesson, but she also knew that it was meaningless to argue about it now. She had already divorced Zhao Wenshui and returned to her family because she didn't want to have anything to do with Zhao Wenshui. She also didn't want to go back to the Zhao family and see Zhao Wenshui again. Therefore she persuaded her two brothers. Big brother, second brother, don't be angry. It's not worth arguing with this kind of person. Anyway, I've already divorced him. From now on we won't have anything to do with each other. Let bygones be bygones. Don't make yourself feel uncomfortable. Li Chuanying's brothers respected Li Chuanying's opinion. Sister, we'll listen to you. If you want to teach Zhao Wenshui a lesson, we'll help you teach him a lesson. If you're unhappy, you have to vent your anger. If you don't want to see him again or have anything to do with him, then we won't go. Now that we're divorced, it's fine. Our Li family isn't that poor. We can support one more person. With her two brothers' words, Li Chuanying was satisfied. Now that she had been wronged by Zhao Wenshui, fortunately her family supported her after she came back. If her family didn't accept her at this time, she really didn't know what to do. Big brother, second brother, thank you. I came back with you and brought shame to the Li family. I didn't expect you to not despise me and be willing to accept me and not chase me out. Hearing Li Chuanying's words, the two brothers both glanced at Li Chuanying. Little sister, what are you talking about? It's not your fault. It's Zhao Wenshui's fault. When have you ever embarrassed the Li family? That's right, little sister, don't think too much. You shouldn't live with that kind of person. He's really too much. He doesn't put you in his eyes and he also doesn't put our Li family in his eyes. He's simply going too far. If we don't let you come back, where else can you go? Could it be that they were going back to old Zhao's house? If we really go back, won't that Zhao Wenshui go even more overboard? When Li Chuanying heard this, he felt a warm current flowing into his heart. Your maternal family is still the best. Your maternal family is always so protective of you. No matter what you do, they will stand on your side and think for you. At this moment, Li Chuanying finally felt the warmth of home. If she wanted to stay at home for the rest of her life, it would definitely be much better than staying at old Zhao's house. Seeing that Li Chuanying's foot was injured, old Madame Li hurriedly took out some sesame oil and helped Li Chuanying massage it. Chapter 1979. Old Madame Li's thinking was still more conservative. She felt that Li Chuanying couldn't stay in her maternal home forever. It wasn't that she disliked Li Chuanying, but she knew that if a woman didn't have a man, it would be inconvenient for her in the future. In addition, she didn't mind, and neither did her two sons. However, if her sister-in-law lived in her maternal home, her daughter-in-law would definitely object. After a long time, she was afraid that some conflicts would arise. As old Madame Li helped Li Chuanying push her feet, she said earnestly, "A woman can't do it alone. When you're old, you have to find a man to support each other. Two people are better than one. You don't understand now, but you'll understand in the future. There aren't all bad men in this world. There are good men too. I'll ask someone later to see if there are any suitable men. If there are, I'll help you arrange a marriage. When the time comes, you can marry him." Li Chuanying had already given up on marriage. How could she think about men now? "Mother, at my age with my conditions, what kind of man can I find? I'm afraid that I'll find someone worse. It's better not to torment myself." Old Madame Li said with a straight face, "You're wrong. At your age, with your conditions, why can't you find another man? Nowadays there are many bachelors who have lost their wives. Can't we just find a good one among them?" Speaking of bachelors, Li Chuanying's mind suddenly flashed with Zhao Ping's face. Zhao Ping was honest, hardworking, and very considerate. Although his family was a little poor, he could be considered a good man. If she could marry such a man for the rest of her life, Li Chuanying would be willing. However, she didn't dare to think about it now. After all, Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Ping were distant relatives. If she really married Zhao Ping, she didn't know what others would say. "Mother, let's talk about this later. There's no rush now." The two Li brothers also echoed, "That's right, mother. There's no rush. Even if we find a man for little sister, it'll take some time. In any case, she'll stay at home for a while, right? This kind of thing can't be done too hastily, lest you find another man like Zhao Wenshui. The rest of your little sister's life will be really bitter. Old Madame Li compromised. All right then, let's talk about it later. On the other hand, old Zhao's family had a lot of trouble after Li Chuiying left. Without Li Chuiying, Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Tianyu had no one to take care of them. Zhao Tianyu had nothing to eat, so he could only stir in front of Zhao Wenshui. For lunch, she got a bowl from Qian Zhuzhe to fill her stomach. He had already eaten lunch and he couldn't possibly continue to eat at other people's place at night. Now he could only count on himself. Dad, hurry up and cook for me. Do you want me to starve to death? Zhao Tianyu complained to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui held a stick in his hand and waved it at Zhao Tianyu, cursing loudly. Brat, can't you see that your father can't eat? Who do you want me to look for? Dad, you're my father. If I don't look for you, who should I look for? Who told you to drive mother away in anger? Otherwise, do you think I would be hungry now? Zhao Wenshui was angry when he heard Zhao Tianyu's words. Although he was the one who drove mother away, didn't this brat get involved? He wanted him to persuade Li Chuiying to stay, but he said those words. Chapter 1980. Zhao Tianyu burst into tears. Father, you're a bad person. I'm old Zhao's grandson, not old Li's grandson. How can I find my mother? You stinky boy, why are you crying? Don't you think it's enough trouble? If you cry again, I'll beat you. Zhao Wenshui threatened while waving the stick in his hand. Zhao Tianyu was not jealous. He was often threatened, but there were few times when he could really beat him. He thought Zhao Wenshui was the same. Father, how can I not cry if you don't give me food? I'm your precious son, but you want to starve me to death. Woo. Zhao Wenshui saw that Zhao Tianyu did not listen to him and was annoyed by Zhao Tianyu's shouting. He took the stick in his hand and hit Zhao Tianyu several times. Zhao Tianyu's arm suddenly had a red mark. Zhao Tianyu felt a burst of pain and cried even louder. Ah, it hurt so much. Father, you're so bad. Zhao Tianyu cried and suddenly rushed out of the room. He ran to Hua Chunhua to complain. Grandmother, my father didn't give me food and hit me with a stick. You have to be the judge. Woo. Seeing Zhao Tianyu cry like this, Hua Chunhua felt a little distressed. No matter what, Zhao Tianyu was her grandson, not an outsider. Where did your father hit you? Hua Chunhua asked with a frown. Zhao Tianyu rolled up his sleeve. There was a clear mark of a stick on it. Seeing that Zhao Tianyu was injured to this extent, Hua Chunhua immediately became a little annoyed. She started to scold him. This second brother is really too outrageous. Of all the things he could do, he actually hit a child? I don't know where he got the face to vent his anger on a child. Grandmother, it hurts so much. Zhao Tianyu looked at Hua Chunhua with grievance. Hua Chunhua took Zhao Tianyu's hand and said, Let's go, Tianyu. Grandmother will take you to find your father. Yes. Zhao Tianyu nodded heavily. Hua Chunhua took Zhao Tianyu to the room of the second branch. Zhao Wenshui was sitting in front of the bed, frowning. Hua Chunhua walked in and started scolding Zhao Wenshui. I say, Lauer, look at what you've done to Tianyu. He is your son, the root of your second branch. Zhao Wenshui said helplessly, Mother, it's all because this brat doesn't know any better and only knows how to make trouble in front of me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have beaten him with a stick. Hua Chunhua snorted. I'm hungry, so I'm asking you for food. Is that a troublemaker? As Tianyu's father, if he doesn't ask you for food, who else would he ask? If you didn't do such a shameful thing, would Tianyu's mother run back to her mother's house with you? Zhao Wenshui was so depressed that he couldn't help but sigh. Mother, can you not mention this? Don't mention it. Then tell me, what about Tianyu? The next time I see you hitting him, I'll come over and beat you with a stick. Hua Chunhua warned. Zhao Wenshui quickly said, Mother, I won't. Hua Chunhua turned around and patted Zhao Tianyu's head. Your father won't dare to hit you next time. If he does, tell grandmother and I'll beat him for you. Zhao Tianyu nodded his head heavily. Grandmother, what should I do if I'm hungry now? My father won't let me eat. Chapter 1981. Hua Chunhua was furious when she heard this. She reprimanded Zhao Wenshui. Dream on. You still want to eat with me? Last time, I almost died from serving your second branch. Now you want to rely on me? I say, second brother, no matter how shameless you are, you can't be like this, right? Zhao Wenshui's eyes revealed a hint of disappointment. He sighed and said, "Mother, I don't have a choice. Other than you, who else can I ask for food? Besides, I'm a man and I don't know how to cook. You can't just watch me and Tianyu starve to death, right?" Last time, Hua Chunhua allowed Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Tianyu to eat with them because of this. This time she was determined not to relent, lest she get into trouble again. She was old and her legs were inconvenient. It was enough for her to serve Zhao Xinhui alone. How could she have the ability to serve the other two? Hua Chunhua flatly refused. "What does it have to do with me if you starve to death? Now that we've separated from the family, it's good enough that your father and I don't rely on your second branch. Do you still want an old woman like me to serve you and your father?" "Mother, are you that heartless?" Zhao Wenshui asked bitterly. Hua Chunhua snorted coldly. "If I'm not heartless to you, then I'm heartless to myself. Do you think I'm stupid? Why do you have to bring trouble to yourself? Do you think you don't have a long life?" Zhao Wenshui's eyes turned. Since he couldn't beg for food for free, he should at least give him some money, right? Thus he said to Hua Chunhua, "Mother, if I eat with you, can't I pay you money every month?" If it was in the past, Hua Chunhua would probably think about it when she heard that he was willing to pay. Now that she received a lot of money from Zhao Xinhui, how could she and Zhao Baoshan spend it all, especially when they lived in the countryside? Even if he ate well every day, the money would be enough to last him for a lifetime. Therefore, there was no need for him to exhaust himself for Zhao Wenshui's money. She still wanted to keep this old life and slowly enjoy it. Otherwise, when she earned the money, her two legs would fall apart and she wouldn't have the fortune to enjoy it. If that happened, then everything would be in vain. Who wants your lousy silver? You can find someone else to cook it for you. Anyway, this old woman doesn't know how to serve you." Hua Chunhua said as she turned around and walked out. Zhao Tianyu cried out, "Grandma, are you really not going to cook for me? I'm starving to death, I'm so hungry, so hungry." Hua Chunhua gritted her teeth and replied cruelly, "Go look for your father, just look for him. Who asked him to do those dirty things that angered your mother away?" After saying that, Hua Chunhua went out, leaving only Zhao Tianyu and Zhao Wenshui. The father and son looked at each other and Zhao Tianyu weakly cried out, "Father, I'm hungry." Zhao Wenshui rolled his eyes at Zhao Tianyu, "You little bastard, you know how to complain." "Father, you didn't give me food, and you hit me." Zhao Wenshui waved the stick in his hand again. "Try saying that again." Zhao Tianyu cried out and cried again, "Father, if you want to hit me, I'll go look for Grandma." Zhao Wenshui was annoyed and helpless. What kind of son did he raise that he would only be happy if he angered him to death? Originally he wanted to ignore Zhao Tianyu and let him do whatever he wanted. But then he found that his stomach was growling a few times and he was hungry. Chapter 1982. Zhao Wenshui's face was gloomy as he thought about what to do. If Hua Chunhua didn't agree to cook for him, who else could he go to? Could it really be like what Hua Chunhua said and let him find an outsider to cook for him? But who could he find? Zhao Wenshui thought about it. In the entire old Zhao family, he couldn't find anyone from the first branch. After what he did to Feng Zhangxia, he would probably become enemies with Zhao Wenshui in the future. If he went to the first branch to discuss this matter, wouldn't he be asking for trouble? As for the third branch, it was even more impossible to get them to cook for him. The third branch was now the wealthiest in old Zhao's family. Why would they care about the little money he gave them? Then only the fourth branch was left. He just didn't know if the fourth branch would agree. After all, Chen Zhuzhe was a bit angry today. Now was not the time to hesitate. He had to hurry up, otherwise he would continue to starve. Zhao Wenshui thought about it and sighed. He decided to look for Chen Zhuzhe and tell her. What if Chen Zhuzhe agreed? Thus, Zhao Wenshui left the second branch's room and ran to discuss it with Chen Zhuzhe. Chen Zhuzhe originally didn't want to agree, but if she didn't agree, where would Zhao Tianyu get the food? She had a problem with Zhao Wenshui, but Zhao Tianyu was innocent. Without his mother, his life was already inconvenient. Now that he couldn't even eat, it was even more pitiful. In any case, Zhao Wenshui wasn't eating for free. Since he was paying, there was nothing wrong with her cooking for 2 more people. When Zhao Wenshui ran out of money, he would have to suffer in the future. The father and son finally stopped quarreling after they ate. Zhao Yun'er and the people of the third branch chatted for a while and then went to bed early. When he returned home, he realized that it was home that gave him a sense of comfort and stability. This was something that no other place could give him. No matter how good the Shiitsi's residence was, it couldn't compare to the atmosphere at home. This was the warmth that a family should have when living together. Who knew that this kind of warm days would not last? After a while, Mu Lianfeng's domineering cousin came over and directly went to Zhao Yuner's house. She even looked like she was going to punish her. A luxurious carriage stopped in front of Zhao Yuner's courtyard and Murong Shuang stepped down. It had to be said that although this woman's personality was a little lacking, she was indeed as beautiful as a flower and could cause the downfall of a city, apart from her arrogance and haughtiness. She was wearing a light red pleated long dress, which added a touch of charm and youthfulness to her. She wore an exquisite peony-shaped hairpin on her head, with tassels hanging in front of her forehead. She looked very noble. At first glance, one could feel that she was out of the ordinary and had an extraordinary aura. Compared to Murong Shuang, Zhao Yun'er's appearance was much more ordinary. Zhao Yun'er could at most be considered delicate and pretty. There was still a long way to go when compared to Murong Shuang. "This is Zhao Yun'er's house?" Murong Shuang asked the coachman. "Yes, Mississippi. When we arrived at the village we asked around. This is the place." Murong Shuang nodded. She raised her head and glanced at Zhao Yun'er's house and snorted. Although this house was considered good in the village compared to their big family's house, it couldn't even compare to their toilets. She didn't know how her cousin could endure living in such a place for so long. Chapter 1983. When she came out, she bumped into Murong Shuang. Zhao Yun'er was slightly stunned. She did not expect this woman to come straight to her. She must have heard old Madame Mu's words and felt indignant, so she came over. When Murong Shuang saw Zhao Yun'er, her eyebrows knitted together in displeasure. It was all because this woman had snatched away her cousin. Murong Shuang was furious at the thought of this. If Zhao Yun'er had some beauty it would be fine. However, she clearly had no beauty at all. Even the maids in the Crown Prince's mansion were prettier than Zhao Yun'er. To what extent was his cousin so hungry that he chose a woman like Zhao Yun'er? Seeing the hostility in Murong Shuang's eyes, Zhao Yun'er smirked and asked Murong Shuang, "May I know why you've come to my house, miss?" Murong Shuang looked down at Zhao Yun'er with a condescending attitude. It was as if she did not care about Zhao Yun'er at all. In her opinion, Zhao Yun'er was just a lowly country bumpkin. How could she be worthy of speaking to her like this? "Where's my cousin?" Murong Shuang opened her mouth and asked flatly. Zhao Yun'er's beautiful eyes narrowed slightly. So she was not here to look for Mu Lianfeng. It seemed that Mu Lianfeng would not have an easy time avoiding this woman. Although he had left the Crown Prince's mansion, he did not expect Murong Shuang to come looking for him. "He's not in my house now," Zhao Yun'er replied. "You be ***, where else could my cousin be if he's not in your house?" Do you think you can hide him? I'm going to look for my cousin. He must be in your house." As she spoke, Murong Shuang took a step forward, intending to enter Zhao Yun'er's house to look for him. However, Zhao Yun'er blocked Murong Shuang's way. "I said I'm not here, so I'm not here. What right do you have to come to my house to look for someone? This is my home, whoever I let in can enter." Zhao Yun'er said coldly, her body erupting with a unique aura. Even though she was standing in front of Murong Shuang, she did not show any signs of weakness. She did not take Murong Shuang seriously. "Be ***, get out of my way." Murong Shuang snapped. It seemed that some people were too insatiable. What daughter of a respectable family? Every time they opened their mouths they would call her a slut. How could there be any elegance to speak of? "Why should I ask you to step aside? If you want to enter my house you'll naturally have to beg me. I can even consider letting you in. You're so tyrannical, what status do you have to suppress me and order me around?" "You." Murong Shuang was exasperated. Usually no one would talk to her like this. Because of her identity, many people had to lower their heads in front of her. However, a country bumpkin actually treated him with such an attitude. "Are you going to step aside or not? I'm going to look for my cousin. If you don't blame me for being rude." "Miss Murong, please have some self-respect. If you're polite to me I'll be polite to you. Otherwise you won't be able to get anything out of me." Zhao Yun'er's words made Murong Shuang so angry that her eyes turned red. She wanted to enter the house to look for Mu Lianfeng, but Zhao Yun'er would not let her. Dragging it out like this was not a solution, so she had to force her way in. Murong Shuang raised her hand and cursed, "Be ***, since you don't appreciate my kindness don't blame me for hitting you." However, before Murong Shuang's hand could land on Su Xiaoxia's face, Zhao Yun'er intercepted it. Chapter 1984. Then there was a "pa" sound. Not to mention the slap on the face, just hearing it made people feel pain. Murong Shuang was stunned by Zhao Yun'er's slap. There was a burning pain on her face and it took her a while to react. Her eyes turned red and she wanted to fight Zhao Yun'er to the death. "Slut, you actually dare to hit me. I am a dignified first-rank family's daughter. Who do you think you are to hit me?" Murong Shuang didn't just feel the pain on her face, she also felt that she had lost face. She wanted to teach Zhao Yun'er a lesson, but she was taught a lesson by Zhao Yun'er instead. Normally, no one dared to slap her. This was the first time she had suffered this kind of grievance. Her parents couldn't bear to touch her and in the end, she was beaten red in the face by Zhao Yun'er. "Why can't I hit you? You're already waving your hand at me. If I don't dodge, am I supposed to stretch my face out for you to slap me? I know you are a large family's daughter, but our great Zhou country's laws don't casually stipulate that nobles can hit commoners without any reason. I hope young Miss Murong won't cause trouble for no reason. Otherwise, if you suffer, you'll cry and complain about me. You. Slut, I definitely won't let you off." Murong Shuang covered her face and angrily replied. However, she didn't dare to impulsively charge into the room again. This time she didn't bring many people but there were 2 guards. Since she couldn't beat Zhao Yun'er, she could let the 2 guards take care of Zhao Yun'er. Murong Shuang coldly said to the 2 guards behind her, "Are you 2 idiots blind? You don't know how to make a move when you should? Hurry up and teach this slut a lesson for me." When the 2 guards behind Murong Shuang heard the order, they hurried forward and prepared to make a move against Zhao Yun'er. At this time, a little child ran in from outside the courtyard. It was Daodu. When Daodu saw that the 2 guards were not going to touch Zhao Yun'er, he started to shout, "You're not allowed to bully my mother, did you hear me? If you bully my mother, I'll teach you a lesson." However, no one would take the words of a child seriously, so Daodu's warning was completely ineffective. The 2 guards continued to walk towards Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er's eyes revealed a trace of sharpness. Murong Shuang had brought 2 bodyguards with her, and it was obvious that they were skilled in martial arts. It would be difficult for him to deal with such trained bodyguards. "Don't you dare bully my mother." Daodu roared when he saw that Zhao Yun'er was in danger. Murong Shuang turned her head and looked at Daodu. Daodu's little face was somewhat similar to Mu Lianfeng's. It was obvious that he was Mu Lianfeng's biological son. When she returned to the Shitzi manor, old Madame Mu told her about the situation, and also told her about Daodu's existence. When she found out that Zhao Yun'er had given birth to Mu Lianfeng's son, Murong Shuang's heart was filled with jealousy. How could any woman feel at ease when she saw the man she liked have a child with another woman? When she saw Daodu, Murong Shuang went even more crazy. Just as Daodu rushed towards Zhao Yun'er, he was stopped by Murong Shuang. Murong Shuang grabbed Daodu's collar and said coldly, "Little bastard, don't go over there." Daodu struggled in Murong Shuang's hands. Let go of me, you bad person who bullied my mother." Chapter 1985. Little B** starred, "How dare you be so arrogant in front of me? Do you want to die?" Murong Shuang said coldly, her gaze terrifying. Murong Shuang was already disgusted by Daodu's existence, and now she was even more disgusted by Daodu. She was clearly the daughter of a wealthy family, but now she felt like a crazy woman. She did not have any demeanor at all. She was probably blinded by hatred and did not care about her image at all. Daodu lifted his little face and looked at Murong Shuang, his little face full of anger. "I won't allow anyone to bully my mother." Even when faced with the fierce Murong Shuang, Daodu still said firmly. Murong Shuang's gaze became even sharper. At the same time, Murong Shuang's 2 bodyguards had already made their move on Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er had never practiced martial arts, so how could she be a match for these people? Not long after, she was captured by the 2 bodyguards. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao heard the commotion outside the house, and as soon as they came out, they saw the 2 men holding Zhao Yun'er. They were so frightened that their faces turned ashen, and they shouted at the 2 bodyguards, "What are you doing? Why are you holding my daughter? Let her go, let her go." The 2 bodyguards ignored Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao was extremely anxious and he quickly patted Zhao Wenhua. "Yun'er's father, hurry up and save Yun'er." Zhao Wenhua replied. However, just as he rushed over, before he could even get close to Zhao Yun'er, the bodyguard raised his leg and kicked down. Zhao Wenhua flew out and landed heavily on the ground. Ouch! Zhao Wenhua groaned in pain, feeling as if his bones had been broken. He was no match for these people, and it seemed impossible for him to save Zhao Yun'er. However, these people had strangely captured Zhao Yun'er. As her parents, they were naturally very worried, afraid that these people wanted to do something bad and hurt Zhao Yun'er. Liang Jinxiao quickly rushed to Zhao Wenhua and helped Zhao Wenhua up from the ground. Yunner's father, how are you? Where are you hurt? Zhao Wenhua got up from the ground in pain and waved his hand. Yunner's mother, don't worry. It's just a little bit, I don't think I'm hurt. Liang Jinxiao's eyes were still filled with worry. Yunner's father, please don't be's father. These people obviously did not come with good intentions. First they captured Zhao Yunner and now they injured Zhao Wenhua. They did not know what their motive was. Zhao Wenhua held his aching waist and warned the two guards who were holding Zhao Yunner, hurry up and let go of my daughter. Otherwise don't blame me for being impolite. Zhao Yunner knew that Zhao Wenhua was no match for these people. She was afraid that Zhao Wenhua would get hurt again if he rushed over, so Zhao Yunner said, Father, don't come over. You're not their match. But Yunner, what are these people trying to do? Zhao Wenhua's face was full of worry, and Liang Jinxiao was also very anxious. Zhao Yunner comforted them, Father, Mother, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Even though Zhao Yunner was comforting them, Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua's faces were full of worry. Daodu was even more anxious. He was afraid that Zhao Yunner would be hurt in the slightest. He struggled in Murong Shuang's hands. Bad person, let go of me. Little bastard, what's the use of letting go of you? Do you think you can save your mother? Chapter 1986. Murong Shuang groaned in pain. How dare this little b*tch bite her? She must be tired of living. Because of the pain, Murong Shuang had no choice but to let go of Daodu's hand. She looked down and saw that there were clear teeth marks where Daodu had bitten her. One look and she knew that he had bitten her hard. Little b*tch, you're really ruthless. You're just like your mother. Murong Shuang's eyes were spitting fire. How could she let Daodu off so easily? When she saw Daodu running towards the two guards, she quickly chased after him and raised her hand to slap him. Zhao Yunner was shocked. If this slap landed on Daodu's face, how could such a young child withstand it? He would probably vomit blood. Zhao Yunner struggled to stop Murong Shuang. However, she was held tightly by the two guards and could not move at all. Even if she wanted to stop Murong Shuang, her strength fell short of her will. Zhao Yunner's eyes immediately reddened. She swore in her heart that if this woman really hurt Daodu, she would not let her off so easily. She could have chosen to live peacefully with Murong Shuang. If she did not provoke her, she would not have teased her. However, this woman just loved to challenge her bottom line and do things that she did not want to see. Just as Murong Shuang's hand was about to land, a stone flew over and hit Murong Shuang's hand. Murong Shuang felt a burst of pain and withdrew her hand. Murong Shuang frowned and looked behind her. She saw Mu Lianfeng strolling towards her with a gloomy face. He looked as if he wanted to eat someone alive. When she saw Mu Lianfeng, Murong Shuang immediately put away the fierceness on her face and became much gentler. She smiled and said to Mu Lianfeng, Cousin? You're here? Mu Lianfeng snorted coldly and looked at Murong Shuang with a cold gaze. Are you here to bully my woman and my child? Who gave you the right? Murong Shuang, I don't care how tyrannical you are at home, but I hope you know your place and don't run outside and behave atrociously. With Mu Lianfeng's protection, Daodu rushed towards Mu Lianfeng and threw himself into Mu Lianfeng's arms. Just now he was also quite frightened. After all, he was still a child. How could he withstand so much shock and torment? Mu Lianfeng picked up Daodu and comforted him. It's okay, Daodu. Don't be afraid. Daddy is here. Daddy will protect you. Daodu nodded heavily in response. Yeah. Murong Shuang anxiously defended herself when she saw Mu Lianfeng's cold expression. Cousin. How can you treat me like this for this mother and son? I'm your cousin. Who do they think they are? The more Murong Shuang thought about it, the more aggrieved she felt. She had rushed to Sun City from the capital city with great difficulty just to see her cousin. However, Mu Lianfeng had come to Shuilan village and said that he was busy with court matters. How could Murong Shuang not know that this was clearly Mu Lianfeng's excuse to avoid meeting her? She wanted to marry him, but because of Zhao Yun'er and Daodu, it had become increasingly difficult. Before Zhao Yun'er and Daodu were together, Mu Lianfeng had treated her well. Although there were no romantic feelings between them, he doted on her like a little sister and would never scold her or be fierce to her like he was now. Chapter 1987. Mu Lianfeng mocked coldly, They are my family, they are my love. You, on the other hand, are only my cousin. Please be clear about this. Don't make us brothers and sisters turn against each other. Mu Lianfeng's meaning was clear. In his eyes, Zhao Yun'er and Dao Du were the most important, while she as his cousin had no place at all. Murong Shuang's heart was a little crazy, and she pushed all the blame onto Zhao Yun'er and Dao Du. Her hatred for the two of them grew. If it weren't for them, perhaps she and Mu Lianfeng would still have a chance. Cousin. Murong Shuang pouted, feeling wronged. Her eyes were filled with tears, looking delicate and pitiful. In the past, Mu Lianfeng's heart would probably soften, and he wouldn't be so cold and reproachful. But now Mu Lianfeng didn't even look at Murong Shuang. Instead, he walked towards Zhao Yun. Seeing the two guards grab Zhao Yun'er's arms, the coldness in Mu Lianfeng's eyes intensified. He shouted at the two guards, "Let her go." The two guards were a little intimidated by the aura that exploded from Mu Lianfeng's body. They turned to look at Murong Shuang, waiting for her to give the order. They didn't dare to make a decision on their own, so they just let Zhao Yun'er go. Murong Shuang gritted her teeth. Her eyes were filled with unwillingness, as if her beloved had been snatched away by someone else. Looking at Zhao Yun'er, her eyes were filled with the desire to cut Zhao Yun'er into 1,000 pieces. Seeing this, the two guards could only continue the stalemate and didn't let go. Mu Lianfeng saw that the two guards weren't tactful, so he didn't say anything else. Instead, he reached out and clapped his hands, easily snatching Zhao Yun'er from their hands. Just as the two guards were about to step forward, they heard Mu Lianfeng's cold warning, "You are no match for me. Don't ask for a snub." The two guards were stunned and turned to look at Murong Shuang. Murong Shuang glared at the two guards. "Two useless things. Father, it's this bad woman who bullied Mother. Father, quickly help Mother teach them a lesson, they are too bad." Dao Du complained while pretending to be Mu Lianfeng. Although he spoke in a childish voice, it was obvious that Dao Du was furious. "Cousin." Murong Shuang continued to pretend to be pitiful. "Cousin. I didn't mean anything by it. I didn't hurt this B*TC. She was the one who stopped me from entering the house to look for you. I thought you were hiding in her house and didn't want to see me on purpose." "That's right, cousin, look, my face was slapped by this bitch." Murong Shuang deliberately stretched out her face. At this moment there was still a palm print on his face. However, Mu Lianfeng didn't feel the slightest bit of heartache or protection. Instead, he said sarcastically, "Disasters can be forgiven, but disasters brought on by oneself are the hardest to bear. You asked for it. If you didn't come looking for trouble, Yun-er wouldn't have slapped you. Also, cousin, you are the daughter of an official. You should have learned a lot about etiquette. Don't learn from those rural women who spew profanities every time they open their mouths. Look at you now, you don't have the demeanor of an official's daughter. If uncle and aunt see you like this, they will definitely reprimand you." Murong Shuang's eyes widened and she looked at Mu Lianfeng in shock. How did her cousin become like this? Even if he was biased, he didn't have to be so biased, did he? He was completely protecting Zhao Yun'er, but he didn't care if she was bullied by Zhao Yun'er. Chapter 1988. Cousin. Sob sob sob. Do you care about her that much? You don't even care about the feelings between us for so many years. Are she and this child? Are they that important to you? Zhao Yun'er knew that she was asking the obvious, but she still asked anyway. Mu Lianfeng affirmed, "Yes, so cousin, please be careful in the future. Don't do anything to hurt them." Murong Shuang was on the verge of going crazy. She had come all the way here to declare her sovereignty in front of Zhao Yun'er. Now that she had Mu Lianfeng's protection and support, she was afraid that Zhao Yun'er would be even more insatiable and completely disregard her. "Cousin, can you go back now?" Mu Lianfeng looked like he was driving her away. He was afraid that if Murong Shuang continued to stay, she would do something to hurt Zhao Yun'er. Murong Shuang had come here to look for Mu Lianfeng. She had planned to get along with Mu Lianfeng and discuss their marriage. Now that she had been driven away, how could she say anything? "Cousin. I came all the way from the capital to look for you. We haven't even had a reunion yet." Murong Shuang said, feeling wronged. "What do we have to talk about? Cousin, what do you want to talk to me about?" Seeing Mu Lianfeng's heartless look, Murong Shuang bit her lower lip and replied pitifully, "Cousin, are you really going to treat me like this because of an outsider?" Mu Lianfeng's face was expressionless. Instead, he replied with a hint of disgust, "Since you have nothing else to say, hurry up and leave. This is Yun'er's courtyard. Outsiders are not allowed to enter." "No, I'm not leaving," Murong Shuang replied capriciously. Since she was young, she had been doted on by her parents. She had been the apple of their eye. She usually had everything she wanted. Everyone obeyed her. Unfortunately, when it came to Mu Lianfeng, she was repeatedly thwarted. Mu Lianfeng had never accepted her love, and now he was treating her like this. Cousin, don't be so willful. This is not your home. No one has the obligation to follow your wishes, not even me. Murong Shuang's tears flowed down her cheeks and dripped down. Cousin, I just want to look at you more. Do you know that I rushed over here these few days because of you? I didn't eat or drink well and I've become thinner. Don't you feel sorry for me? Can you really turn a blind eye to me? Murong Shuang could not control her emotions and started to cry in front of Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng's eyes moved slightly, but they were soon replaced by a sharp look. He replied indifferently, Cousin, I'm sorry. I can't reciprocate your love. Now, I can tell you that you don't have to think about me anymore. I will never marry you in this life. I only have one woman and one wife, and that is Yuner. If you know what's good for you, I can still take into account the friendship between us. In the future, we can still get along like before. However, if you persist in going about things the wrong way, we will be strangers from now on. We will have nothing to do with each other. After hearing Mu Lianfeng's heartless words, Murong Shuang felt her entire heart turn cold. She could see Mu Lianfeng's determination in his eyes. Murong Shuang also knew that her cousin always did what he said. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.